What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Explicit Materia, the podcast where a nerdy drummer talks to his friends. A couple things first. Be sure to check out my latest Streets of Rage 2 drum cover, where I do a half-assed attempt to cosplay as Axel. It's now up on youtube.com/WiseDrums. And as always, you can follow me on my socials, Twitter at the WiseDrums, Instagram at WiseDrums, Facebook WiseDrums, and follow the Explicit Materia Facebook page as well. And rate and subscribe to the podcast, please, if you think about it. This episode is from my recent vacation to Las Vegas. Every year, I fly back to Las Vegas to play drums for my father's Elvis tribute show. And during those visits, I find time to hang out with my longtime friends Mikey Maneeraj, Garner, and Garret Presser. And no, we don't gamble. We don't hang out on the strip. We usually just lounge out, have a few drinks, and play board games and stuff like Catan. So I thought it would be fun to record a podcast while me and the missus were out there. You already know Mikey from episode 10. Mikey and Garner used to have a podcast called The Mikey and Ghost Show, and with Garret, they had a show called We're Just Saying, which was also a fantastic little show that they would stream on YouTube. You should check those out when you have the chance. It's no longer a thing, but their videos are still on YouTube and you can still watch them. It's really fun, entertaining. This episode, we talk comic books, movies, the XFL's return, Pogs, remember Pogs? Food, Johnny Depp, amongst, a whole bunch of other stuff. It's always a great time hanging out with those dudes, and I hope you guys have fun listening, so hope you all enjoy. This is a little different. It's a little different. I'm here in Vegas with my boys.
Welcome to the Mikey and Ghost Show.
The Mikey and Ghost Show, or We're Just Saying.
Jinx.
Oh.
Wait, before you start it, should we start this?
Yes.
Sure. Ladies.
Cheers.
There we go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Thank you guys for doing this. This is like all these cameras and shit. This is fucking crazy.
I don't know where to look.
Yeah.
Is it the camera on the laptop?
All right. I do.
You are on these. Yeah, here.
Yeah, move the camera. I did want to ask you guys why you guys stopped doing We're Just Saying and the Mikey and Ghost Show.
Because we became superheroes and we had to fight somebody.
That's true.
Why?
CIA.
We were exposing too much about ourselves on the air, and
Illuminati.
our secret identities were at risk. Well, actually, I got into my costume in the background of one of our episodes.
Yeah, you had to cut it.
And so we had to.
That was a difficult week.
The FBI got involved. It was terrible.
Yeah.
I was subpoenaed.
I think everyone just kind of got like too busy is what kind of really like broke it down for us. At the end, I mean, I think we liked doing it still. It just wasn't
We became
enough time.
adults.
Yeah.
I didn't like working with amateurs.
Yeah.
As Mikey points at me.
Wait, were you going to introduce them? I don't know if you can see them.
Off screen.
Background
Off screen
dancers.
are the ladies.
Ooh,
This is my house.
ladies.
There are cheerleaders for today.
There are sometimes ladies in Mikey's house. Yes. Yes.
Sometimes he has.
proof.
Was it lying, guys?
Put this podcast in a time capsule.
We are currently in Mikey's residence.
This is true. It's a beautiful residence.
It's true.
He had just purchased. He is an adult now.
Adult now. This is why we couldn't do the podcast anymore, because of this house.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, we
does make
never did
sense.
the podcast over here, did we? It was all
yeah,
at
it was
your
the
old
first
place.
time, yeah.
It was Crystal Tower. Only
Tower.
Crystal Tower.
Yeah.
Our house
don't
from a
say
video
those
game.
street. Don't say this street.
Yeah. There's no address.
Why? We don't live there anymore.
Oh no, you can say Crystal Tower. Just don't say what street this is.
Oh, I'm not going to.
Great.
This is a secret, dude.
Secret.
We're at Area 51.
Which is legit.
It is. That's a real thing.
What did you guys think about that? It was all over the news for like 2 hours about that actual UFO video from the Pentagon. It came out like
when the pilots were flying.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And no one, it was like, everyone was like, oh, yeah, okay, it's UFOs. It's whatever. And no one gave a shit.
It was really weird how like nonchalant everyone was about it. I mean, you think people would have at least tried to say like, no, that's bullshit, or like, no, this is really true. But it seemed like it kind of just dropped and went nowhere. And I follow like some like conspiracy, like on like Reddit and stuff like that, and it was nothing in there.
Tom Jones?
Wait, nobody talked about that. So when something actual happens, people in Reddit were like, whatever. We want.
I thought they found out. Wasn't it a promo for the new season of X Files? I thought it was just an elaborate.
That would have
hoax.
been perfect if it was.
Yeah.
X Files. Oh, it's just Fox elaborates fucking.
And the new the crossover too. The X Files are crossing over with Star Fox. It's going to be Star Fox Mulder.
Star Fox. What does he say? What is his tagline in X Files? Do you believe?
I want to believe.
I want to believe.
Yeah.
But in Star Fox it'd be
Bobble shabobble.
I never got into X Files.
Really?
I watched like one episode, but it scared me to
Do you
death.
not believe?
I was young
totally
when
up your alley.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking about going back into it, but I don't want it to be like a Twin Peaks kind of situation where everyone tells you to watch Twin Peaks, and then you watch it, and then you're like, I can't get through this show.
See, I've never watched all of it. What he did for me once is he gave me a list of all the episodes, like the best episodes of X-Files that you can watch, that you don't have to like know anything else about the show to watch, because there's a lot of really good, like just standalone episodes that
you could probably find it online. I'm sure other people have done it. But yeah, like the seasons. I mean, it's like from like the '90s, so they're like 24 episode seasons, and I mean they're good, but I bet there's 12 good episodes or 14 good episodes out of a whole season or whatnot.
Right.
So you should, and there's so many seasons, you should do yourself a favor and skip the dreck. If you can.
Through the ones that aren't so good.
Yeah, but God, there's some great old X-Files.
So how's the new X-Files?
I
episodes.
I only watched the last season. I haven't seen any of this new season. The last season was not very good. There was 6 episodes. One of them was like really good.
There was one really good, like hilarious episode.
Yeah, it was
but
like
that's not why I watched the X-Files, because it's hilarious.
It had the manager from Flight
You want
of
to
the Conchords
believe,
in it.
not disbelieve.
Exactly.
Oh, the one where he always say present.
Yeah, it had Murray from Flight of the Conchords, and he was like a wolf, or he was like a wolf or something that got bit by a human and then turned into a human. It was like a reverse of like the werewolf story.
That's
and it was so good.
I remember you guys telling me that. It's a good story though.
He has a line in it somewhere where like he realizes, he's a wolf that realizes he's like become a human, and he's like, well, I don't want to go to work every day. It's great, man. I imagine it's Murray doing it. Like but that's good. But the rest of it is whatever.
Wait, say it's a human that bit a wolf?
How does that
it's
even
a wolf.
happen?
It's like a werewolf type beast creature, or is it just a wolf that got bit
don't
by
know.
a man?
I don't remember the exact.
I think it's called like the wereman.
The wereman. It's like a reverse of like a werewolf story. It's basically where like a creature gets bit by like a human and then becomes a human.
Who's that human that's biting people?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't remember that part of the story either.
It's that soccer player. What's his name in the World Cup? He's gotten like red cards for biting people. Suarez or something. That's the only soccer thing I know.
That's a random soccer fact.
Please do not hit me with a follow-up question, because I cannot elaborate. I can't.
Yeah. We need a.
Garrett, so what do you think
Solo.
about Real Madrid's chances this year?
I always thought it was
something
pronounced Real Madrid. I thought it was like the real world, but real world Madrid. Like,
11 players living on the field.
Speaking, did you guys ever watch that Wolf? It was a movie, and I think in the early '90s.
Teen Wolf?
No, not Teen Wolf.
because I saw that.
It was
That one's fantastic.
with Jack Nicholson and Michelle Pfeiffer. I think it was Michelle Pfeiffer.
Is that Batman?
It's called Wolf.
Yes.
no.
I remember that.
You remember that movie?
Yeah. It was terrible.
It was, yeah, probably is terrible now, but I remember watching it as a kid and being scared out of my mind.
See, I remember
You don't
seeing
remember
like
that?
the video at Blockbuster, but I don't think I ever like watched it.
Yeah, there's a full-length movie of Jack Nicholson turning into a wolf.
See, that's something
And
I should
Michelle
make.
Pfeiffer
I need
too.
to watch that.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me try and find it here.
While
No,
you look
not-
it up. The only movie Jack Nicholson and Michelle Pfeiffer. Oh wait, they were not. They were in the Batman series, but they weren't in it together.
They were not. They were not separate movies.
Oh, there we go. There's a
Separate
good
Joker.
picture right there. Now you have to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sign me up. Can I get a T-shirt that has
Wow.
that
So
picture on it?
Oh my
Like,
God. Jack Nicholson is Wolverine, dude.
He's Old Man Logan.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's
Yep,
a mixture
sure
of as
enough.
good as it gets.
Yeah.
And-
I think that's the actual movie
Well,
poster.
I've
right
never
there.
heard of this
Oh my
movie.
God.
It's kind of cool.
I just want that poster on my wall.
Yeah.
Doesn't
at
even look
that.
like Jack Nicholson.
It kind of looks like the Cats poster.
It's got a 60%. It's got a 60% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Ooh, that's pretty solid. I've watched worse.
Is Rotten Tomatoes just all like just fan reviews? There's no one like legit.
Well, I
who's
thought it
doing
was
those
a compilation.
tomatoes.
Is
Yeah, I
it
think it's a compilation.
a compilation
of
of actual critics? Isn't it?
and fans. I think it kind of like
I thought it was a fan.
Just like nobodies, right? I mean, there's somebody, but
everybody's somebody, Mike.
everybody is somebody.
See, I disagree with that statement. I disagree. You know,
Yeah, not everyone can be a somebody.
not everybody. You
Right.
know, there
That's
have
why-
to be nobodies to
Right.
make the somebody somebody.
You have to
There
have
we
people
go.
that fail and people who have success.
And now we're writing a Dr. Seuss book.
but with a very deep subject matter.
Basically telling you that
Did Dr. Seuss
capitalism
ever
is the way to
write
go.
like adult like matter books? Adult issues?
Adult issues in the same rhyme scheme? No, I don't think
When did that child's book Everybody Poops come out?
What?
I remember that.
you remember that everybody
That's a
poops?
book.
It was a sequel to Goodnight Moon, right? Because then you wake up in the middle of the night and you have to poop.
There is that children's book that Sam Jackson like
Audiobooked?
Please go to fuck to sleep.
Yeah, please go to fuck to sleep. Yeah. Have you heard that one?
No, I've not.
That's the sequel to Goodnight Moon.
Okay.
Wait, what's Goodnight Moon?
You don't know what Goodnight Moon is?
They say the kid is like laying in bed and he says goodnight to everything. It's the simplest story
So
ever. It's
every
like,
night
"Good
when you're
clock, good
well, so
night."
I guess we didn't cover this yet, but so I'm Mikey's tenant. I live here as well. So every night when you're in your room and you hear me saying goodnight to all my things, you just think it's me being crazy? When I'm saying like goodnight shelf,
Goodnight books.
goodnight books.
Good night, computer.
Whether it's from a book or not, that's still crazy.
You know? No, you know, I like to say goodnight
Would
to
it
the
be
things
crazy
around
if
me. Okay?
everyone did it, but it would be the one person that doesn't do it is the crazy one?
You don't say good night to your things.
Yeah, right?
Get out.
You know, well, that's how you wake up and your books have left.
Yeah.
You have to appreciate the things in your life, people.
It's like Toy Story, but with books. Book story.
But then you have to wake up in the morning and say hi to everything as you wake up too.
Well, you know, you just kind of yawn and say, good morning! And it's kind of a catch-all, you know? You can't just shout good night. It seems terse. Good night!
Which
No.
family was the Brady Bunch that said good night to everybody?
Oh, no.
Good night, Jan.
John Boy.
Yeah.
Little House on the Prairie or some shit.
See, I know that shit.
The fuck were you watching?
Good night, John. Good night, Larry.
Good night, Prairie.
Remember that? It was like from like a Geico commercial. I saw that in.
Was it that? Was that
So,
the
no, but it was from
Is that like dodgeball where he's like laser, blaze, blazer?
Exactly. It's kind of a mixture of that and then, what is it, the Anchorman, when Brick is just saying objects.
Oh, you said
love
Anchorman. I thought you said Angerman. I'm like, what movie is that?
Anchorman, let's write that.
What's Angerman?
An angry Anchorman.
It's the exact same lines, but everyone just shouting really
And
loud.
you cast like Chuck Liddell and just other washed up UFC fighters and you just shot for shot remake.
Dang, Chuck
Angerman.
Liddell's gonna come after you. Don't you watch UFC?
Oh, yeah.
Is Chuck Liddell still around?
Oh yeah,
What is he
there's
doing?
talk about him coming out of retirement, but I don't
what?
know. I don't know. Well,
Is it like you like WWE hype?
no. Well,
Vince McMahon?
Oh, the XFL.
Yeah.
Did you
Wait.
hear that's coming back?
yeah, I actually saw something on one of my YouTubers that I regularly watch. He talked about it, and yeah, like Vince McMahon did like a Q&A, and a couple people asked if Johnny Manziel was going to
Johnny Football.
Yeah. Football. Yeah.
play football for him, and he basically said no because he has a DUI, and we want players who aren't troublemakers, essentially.
Yeah. I think because he wants it to be like the XFL, so he wants it to be like rougher than the NFL, but also like
With
pure.
non-wife beaters.
No, yeah, he said like no one with any like felonies like can be in the league, and it's going to be mandated in your contract. You have to stand for the national
I hope they-
anthem.
I hope they
all that
treat it-
Saw
stuff.
that too.
Yeah.
I hope they treat it like basketball, where you can only have players from Las Vegas like play in Las
and like the
Vegas.
home team?
Yeah, in the home team. You can't trade players or whatnot.
Well, that's kind of like I've always said the theory that I thought sports would be better if, like, the city of Los Angeles or Las Vegas, we have a hockey team now.
Yeah,
If
we're
like
real.
when the Raiders were coming here, they had to like pick from the athletes we already have here. Like so, like Bill Carlson would have to be on the Raiders. Like so, if Kobe Bryant had to play for the Lakers and the Dodgers, and now like the Rams. Like these are your athletes. You have
Super
30
athletes.
of them. You have to pick from them for every team.
Then their price range would actually make sense because you get $12 million because you're playing on 3 different teams.
Oh, to go to the roof. No, you'd have to pay everyone to get paid so much more because you'd basically be like, oh, I want 3 contracts.
One thing I like.
No,
So
that's bullshit. They already get enough money.
Nah, you'd ask for more. You can always make more money.
No, they should do that with like teachers.
You should. Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Yeah,
But they won't.
No, they won't. No, no, they won't.
just shit.
Yeah.
Just sad.
Yeah.
I never actually watched a single game of the original XFL. I meant to do that today.
Oh, I know. There was a Vegas team. I mean,
Yeah,
we
me
were
neither.
What
kids.
was different from regular football with when the first iteration of XFL came out?
Didn't they had the thing like where I think you like scrambled for the ball at the beginning of the game instead of like a kickoff? I think they basically like put the ball at
Like
the center.
dodgeball?
No, they put the ball. Yeah, like dodgeball. Yeah, at the center of the field, and
See
then
who
you
gets
have
it
people
first?
rush up and try to grab it. I think I could just be totally making that up, but I think that's what they used to do. It was
And
supposed to be like a rougher
no
NFL.
late hits. There's
No,
no
I-
late hits, right? You can.
No, I think that encouraged late hits. Like,
Yeah,
I think
like-
it was supposed to be like
It's like Blitz football, the video game.
yeah,
kind of like the guys like out of bounds already. Clearly, you can still hit them.
yeah.
Like
That's so fucked up.
I don't know. Well, then just like now, like I don't know where the appetite for that is nowadays. People are watching the NFL less and less because
Right.
they're afraid of these big hits, or
Yeah.
you know that
You get injured.
Yeah.
So
or
much.
you know like, and I don't know who the players are going to sign up. They said, well, we're finding out about CTE and all these things, and that playing football is very dangerous. So let me go play in the league that's going to encourage people to target my head. Like that just it seems foolhardy.
Yeah.
Well, you'd get people that hadn't made it in the NFL, you know, that had been cut for whatever reason, and thought, okay, maybe if I can go do this XFL and be like a stud player on the San Antonio team for a year, then maybe
Just
someone
like
will sign me,
taking
you know.
advantage of people's desperation.
Sort of.
Yeah.
I
And
mean, yeah,
also
sort of.
too, in the age of social media, it might be a boon for
That's
a
true.
company like XFL to try to take on, the National Football League as their numbers dwindle.
Yeah.
It might be the best time to try and take out the National Football League.
Just strike while the iron's hot.
Isn't there with the basketball league that Ice Cube was trying to put together?
Like the three on
What?
three with like
didn't
old,
know
like
that?
washed up
Yeah,
players.
with old
Yeah,
players.
it was
Yeah.
like all players that are retired or just washed up, but they still play, and it was gonna be 3-on-3.
No, they did it. No, that was like a
Yeah.
real thing. It ran,
Did it happen?
I don't know how successful it was, but it started out pretty well.
I remember like Allen Iverson was supposed to be like the player coach of one team, and he like didn't show up to their first 3 games. So
Because
like,
it was practice. Was it because it was practice?
you know, he thought so.
Preseason. We're talking about preseason. Silence.
Silence is the best.
Yeah.
Wait, so are you guys like?
What is this
Well,
your show?
actually, I did want to talk to you guys about comic books a little bit because you guys are more into comic books than I ever were.
I think they are more
With
than
your
me.
impressive collection, by the way. What do you guys think of Disney buying out basically the entire Marvel universe?
Couldn't be more excited.
Yes.
You're
Yeah.
not
Couldn't be
worried at
more excited.
all about Disney just basically becoming a monopoly and owning everything.
You know, in most areas, I would say a company having a monopoly on something is inherently bad because it makes it so that it's not as competitive in the market and all that blah 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 blah.
Right.
This is Marvel Comics. I want all my movies. I want my X-Men in my Avengers movies. I want good X-Men movies. I think Fox makes terrible X-Men movies, so I'm so excited for them to have like the rights back.
Well, see, I have a little bit of trepidation. I'm not as like gung ho. I'm not as far in as he is. I think it could be a good thing, but I think that there's a strong possibility that we're just in for another round of reboots, and I'm gonna have to watch another X-Men one where we find out what a mutant is, and oh my god, there's this guy with claws that can heal, and he's not Hugh Jackman anymore. Now it's Pee Wee
Tom
Hardy.
Hardy.
No, Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson, yeah, Old Man Logan, and
Super old man Logan.
well, and like I say, and him and I have disagreed on this before. I say, I get nervous about. I've read the comics and everything, so I know who the people are. So yeah, go ahead and just throw us in. You don't have to give anybody intros. But that doesn't work for everybody. Disney's not going to do that. I don't think Disney's not going to say, "Well, just
They can
figure
do it
out
with
who
the
these people
X-Men,
are."
though. They can do that. I mean, they did it with Spider-Man. They can do it with X-Men because everyone knows who the X-Men's already.
No, but you can
can't
do
do it
you
with
can
Fantastic
do it, No,
Four.
you can do it with Spider-Man because he's one character that everybody absolutely knows. The X-Men is this
Like 9
jumble
characters.
of at least 9
Yeah,
characters
tough.
throughout their universe, 45, 50 characters.
True.
And so you can't introduce all of them with no explanation. You can give me
Right.
Wolverine, no explanation.
Right.
Cyclops, Jean
That's
Grey,
what,
those
but,
things.
but that's the first group, and then everyone else be trickled in.
But then you're doing one more version of that. So granted,
sure.
you didn't do an intro with them. You didn't do that. You just showed me a new Cyclops, new Wolverine. I'd rather almost say, fuck it and give me a brand new. Give me Jubilee. Give me Banshee. Give me, Angel. Give me these characters I've never seen before, and go ahead and tell me their origin. You don't have to explain how mutants exist, but explain how they became a team. Call it X-Force. Don't call it X-Men.
Actually, yeah, it would be cool to be like the original core teams with Cyclops, Jean, and Wolverine. That's
Beast,
the original.
Nightcrawler.
But if you had a new original core and then Cyclops, and they could show up later because we already know them, but they show up because there's hundreds of
do
mutants.
something crazy and make it. You know what? Maybe he eventually somehow sees the error of his ways and becomes a good guy. But start off Wolverine as a bad guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to be captain of the. He can be part of the. And I want to say it's not
Football team?
not the Inferno Club. The
Hellfire Club?
Hellfire Club.
Close.
But I think what you guys are kind of discounting is, they're going to keep making X-Men movies, right? They make a lot of money, so someone is going to keep making X-Men movies. And I think with Marvel's track record versus Fox's track record, you're right. You're going to have to sit through another reboot. There's going to be all new people cast as these people, and that sucks and is annoying. But they were going to have to do that anyway, because Hugh Jackman's not going to be Wolverine anymore. That James McAvoy has said he wants out as Xavier. I don't even know if Jennifer Lawrence is coming back as Mystique in the new X-Men movie. So you were going to have to recast these people eventually anyway.
Fox.
Or
you
in the
might as well
case-
let Marvel do it.
In the case of Wolverine, though, why do a reboot when you can pretty much pick up where Logan left off and go with
X-23.
X-23?
Yeah, and they own those.
And then have a
Yeah.
female Wolverine for the next couple iterations.
And I think you definitely have to try to keep Ryan Reynolds on as Deadpool.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
He's
there's
the-
certain parts you got to keep. Yeah,
It's awesome, Deadpool, but he also is the guy who fucking saved Fox. And then X-Men.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
It's
And they
almost like
didn't
a
think it was
double-edged
going to work.
sword.
They thought, this is not.
It's a
gonna
double-edged
work.
sword.
yeah.
But
I say,
it's-
fuck you, Ryan Reynolds, but awesome job, Ryan Reynolds.
They could do with cooling off some of the characters for a little bit. I don't necessarily need Wolverine in this new movie. I know he's the big, people love Wolverine, but there's plenty of people I've never seen Gambit.
Wolverine wasn't even a part of the original team.
You seen Gambit? Gambit was in a short.
Oh, you're right. He was in that Wolverine Origins movie. It was the dude from
I met him.
Friday Night Lights was Gambit.
I met him.
Right.
I met him
Yeah.
drunkenly.
Taylor Kitsch.
Are they
Taylor
ever
Kitsch.
going to make the Gambit movie with what's his nuts?
Channing Tatum?
Yeah.
No.
You don't think so?
I think they already canceled it.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I know they had trouble with their directors for a while. Who wants a Gambit movie anyway? I think Gambit would be dope, in a larger group movie, but Gambit doesn't need his own movie. Well, what is a Gambit movie?
Well, they
gonna
missed
be?
an
a money
opportunity.
grab. It's a
They missed an
money grab.
opportunity to make Gambit really cool when they cast that one dude as Gambit in that first solo Wolverine
the guy
movie.
from Friday Night Lights.
Taylor Kitsch.
Thank you.
Have you seen Friday Night Lights?
No, I've not. In any case, I'm pretty sure he's a great actor. And it's probably not.
Actually,
it's probably
Tim
not his
Riggins.
fault.
Write down
Jim Riggins.
Friday Night
If
Lights.
Friday Night Lights is a good show, Mikey's going to badger you about this now, Shane. You don't know what you just got yourself into.
I didn't say he was a bad actor. I'm just saying that the way he played Gambit, however they directed him to
was
play
terrible.
Gambit, was
Oh, yeah,
awful.
that's just
Yeah.
Fox. That's Fox.
You remember Ryan Reynolds was in that movie as Deadpool
Yeah.
in a weird.
awful again.
They made him a mute, which is the exact opposite of Deadpool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
Made
been
no
that's
I think it's with those types of movies. It was, or back then, it was you had to show their face and you can't cover it up.
Yeah.
That's why it was Deadpool with a mask off.
Yeah.
basically.
It was just weird. It was
was
weird
it was a weird
interpretation.
Deadpool.
I am
It was a
glad
bad
though
movie.
that they're starting to put in the live action movies that they're actually bringing the white eyes in. They're figuring out a way to bring the white eyes
Yeah.
in the comic books, because when you look at Batman, even the latest iterations of Batman, he's wearing eye makeup underneath there.
Yeah.
So all I'm thinking about whenever I see close-up shots of Christian Bale, even though it's a badass movie, I still go so how does he get ready? Does he put under eye on first,
And then when he takes-
and then he
you
puts
can't
the
do it
When
Once
he
you put
takes
the
off his
mask on.
mask, he's
Yeah.
like, "Hold on, let me take some eye makeup remover."
And there are shots, even, wasn't there a part where he did take his mask off or something and the eye makeup's not there anymore?
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, like, if it's clear that he's wearing it, yeah. So when he takes the mask off, now you've blown your movie, Christopher Nolan.
In those movies, Batman was the most ridiculous character in it. He was the
Just
only
that
one that
voice
dressed.
he talked
The
in.
voice, and also he's the only one that dressed up. Everyone else, Joker was fine. All the other villains, Bane was okay just because he had a breathing mask on.
Yeah,
that
they-
made his voice higher.
Wait, speaking of that, has there ever been a movie with Tom Hardy where you've been able to understand him?
Or see his face. Or
Like,
see his face in the past 5 years.
I don't know what Tom Hardy's natural voice sounds like.
Yeah. I think that's the allure of him. He's mysterious.
And now he's going to be
That's why all the
Venom.
ladies love him.
Yeah, hey,
He's
You
going to
don't
be
like-
Venom.
you don't like Tom
I
Hardy?
don't understand what he's saying.
And I don't know how I feel about that movie. Like,
I don't know
like-
how it feels like, because I just feel weird because he was Bane. You like, it's like having two different comics come together and it's the same actor. It's just weird to me. I'm sorry. It's just, I'm sure he's a great
Like
actor.
Captain America. Captain America was in Fantastic Four.
I think it's even
Was he
weirder.
really?
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic
Yeah, he
Thor.
was
Oh
Human
my
Torch.
God, that's a great.
He was Human Torch
Oh,
in
that's
the
right. He
original.
was.
Yeah.
That's
But
what's
but you know
exciting
what?
about
That
Disney.
movie was so terrible. We don't care
You
about
forget
that.
about
We
it,
forget.
yeah.
We're like,
Thor.
okay, reboot. It's fine. He's a better Captain America.
They got the rights now.
But he was
Holy
a great
shit.
Bane.
We
for,
just-
for what it's worth.
Oh yeah, sorry. Just me and Garrett. On side note, me and Garrett came up with the perfect Thor 4 movie. Fantastic Four joins them, and it's Fantastic Thor.
And it's the fourth Thor movie.
Yeah,
That's not bad.
That's
that's a great way to introduce the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Thor in science. It's like, well, I don't know.
What is this?
I love your Thor impression.
Stretchy.
I have never
What?
seen
I
you
don't
do a
know.
Thor impression before. It's
Stretchy
great.
man.
Stretchy, man.
Yeah,
When I hit you with my hammer, it does nothing.
yeah. What kind of god are you? You burst into flames.
Yeah. That would be dope.
Rock
That's a
man.
good idea.
The god of fire.
Yeah, really great. Yeah, I don't think Thor's that smart.
Yeah.
I don't think he's as dumb as you think he is. You know?
Yeah. But anyways, that's the fourth Thor movie.
Boom. You wrote it. Good job.
Good job. No, yeah,
There we go.
Garrett.
Good job,
Nailed it.
guys. Good job.
Sorry, what were you guys talking about?
I can't remember.
The brilliance of your idea distracted me from whatever I was thinking.
What we were talking about.
Shane, how good are these mics? Can they pick me up sipping?
Yeah. No.
Because that's
Probably
what people
not.
love to hear when they're listening to podcasts. Like, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I'm always like, if this podcast had more sipping in it, I would like it more. So-
Or more chewing.
chewing. Yeah.
We need crunchy things to chew on as we speak with our mouth open.
Oh, like, why aren't they eating chips during this podcast? I don't understand.
You
it.
need to add the tag, the ASMR, because those are those videos that exist. It's the ASMR thing. It's like people watch these videos or create these sounds or videos of people making sounds.
Yeah.
Because they have a like thing, or like those poppers and those plastic bubbles.
It has
thing?
like a hypnotic effect on you
Yeah.
or something like that, right?
Exactly.
Well, she
What are you
has
guys talking about?
misophonia, something like that, where it drives her crazy with people chewing or sipping or making just subtle noises that would normally we would just like, oh, we're eating or whatever. But
Really?
with her, she can, like, her brain just focuses on it.
Like specifically attuned to it or something?
So wait, when I just sipped right there, was it really annoying?
Yes, it was. Yes.
No.
She's just being polite. She hated it.
When people are eating, like loud chewers or people chewing gum or popping gum, like, I can't even go see movies. If I hear people eating popcorn, I can't focus on the movie because I hear the popcorn.
That makes sense.
Okay. It's like Garner, for years growing up, sitting across the dinner table from him, would scrape his fork on his teeth.
I do that.
And-
I do that.
Oh my
Why
god.
do you do that?
Oh my god. Like
just
it's like
a-
I'm
Doesn't that
re-
fuck up your teeth?
Well, like, you're not
She
like.
doesn't scrape
It's
it.
not.
It's not a purposeful thing. I'm not thinking, oh, well, let me scrape this on my tooth before I take it out of my mouth. Like,
Well, it seemed like it. It
I
really
guess
seemed
it's a
like
thing. I guess we really want to make sure that all of the food is in our mouth. So therefore, why not utilize the teeth that we were granted when we were born?
boom.
it. That's
Nailed
not
it.
what they're for, though.
But like the teeth on metal, that's
Look, like I can hear
We've
it in my head
evolved.
right now, and it's
I'm not
terrible.
hearing it. The feeling of it just sounds horrible.
You
You having a flashback?
somebody give Garner a fork. And I'm like, somebody give Garner something to
there's some
eat.
keys.
Keys? No, it's not. No.
The jingle of the keys, though, that sounds like you eating.
Well, because I'm usually wearing like
jingle
grills
keys.
while I'm eating also, so I scrape it on the...
Yeah, sparks shooting off.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
On the X-Men thing.
Yeah, back to X-Men.
Yeah, the reason why I got into comics is because on the way here, I bought a magazine for the plane ride, and it was a Time magazine about superheroes and the history of superheroes and stuff. And I started reading, and I started learning all these crazy things I didn't know about, like X-Men and all like my favorite like cartoon shows mostly, but I knew they were comics, and I kind of wanted to get into comics. Kyle, Kyle,
Sure,
Kyle he was really into comics. We would collect the cards. you
Oh
know?
yeah, the old like flare.
That's how
like,
me and
cards
Kyle
and
met.
stuff.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Or that's how we all met.
Yeah, just
Collecting
fucking-
the X-Men cards.
Yeah.
You guys all showed up at the store at the same time to buy them.
No, at class.
Oh, okay.
We bought cards.
Oh,
and
it was like show and tell. I think we both. It was me and Kyle. I don't know if this is right. We had to. It was so long ago. But I think he showed up with X-Men cards, or at least I showed up with X-Men cards, and Kyle was like, well, I have some too. Or you said, we all have some. We're like, oh, cool, let's bring it. And we're just sitting around looking at X-Men cards. It's like, oh, you have the hologram card.
Oh yeah, they used to have such dope
That's
like
me,
hologram cards and stuff.
That's how I sounded as a kid, too.
Oh man, and oh, dear God, I try. Okay, so I work with a 21-year-old, and I tried to explain to her Pogs.
Oh, you must have thought you were insane.
How do wait? No. Wait. Here, hold on. Before that, explain to us what you explained to her what Pogs were.
Okay, so so Pogs were these little cardboard circle things where you stack them on top of each other, and every person had their own set of Pogs. And the idea of the game was to flip the Pogs using the slammer.
Yeah,
So far.
which is
The
like a hard
slammer was a
plastic.
very hard
So far,
plastic
kinda
thing.
makes sense, yeah.
Sometimes it was metal. Sometimes
Yeah.
they got really crazy in size and length, you know? And so they had to take away this game on the schoolyard sometimes because it was essentially gambling.
It was absolutely.
I lost.
And
I
this
lost
shit was
some Pogs.
expensive. You know
I
what I
lost
mean?
some
Like,
Pogs. I
think how much
cried.
money you dropped on Pogs back in the day.
I lost a slammer. Guys like, oh, gamble this.
Yeah,
I'm
you
like,
can
okay,
gamble
I don't,
the
I don't
slammer.
know what gambling is. That's how I sound as a kid.
So your coworker must
that
have
was
looked at you like
dead
you were
on
absolutely
youthful
bonkers.
Mikey.
Yeah, she looked at me like I was insane. And I was like, yes, we were all insane because it was the 90s and people were crazy.
Well, we didn't have the internet back then.
We
so-
didn't.
So what else were we going to do with our time?
Well, like email was maybe just like emerging. Like you've got mail, maybe.
AOL happened in what, 94?
Yeah,
I
there's
don't
chat
know.
rooms.
That's a great question.
I remember Pogs. I was born in '90.
Yeah.
I remember because
It was like 96.
I lost a lot of Garner's collection of Pogs on my playground.
Thanks, by the way.
He got out of school at 3:00. I got out of school at noon. Haha, your Pogs ain't safe.
Yeah. Mom's like, give your brother some Pogs.
I can see
He
you
won't
coming
lose
home.
them.
Where the fuck are my Pogs?
Like, sorry,
Garrett's just like,
buy better slammers, dude.
But those things got super expensive.
For him.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
some were made out of like pure
really, it's
gold.
for your
And I
mom.
remember they would have like the slammers that were even like different, like you were saying different sizes and stuff. But I even some
a
that looked
razor
like,
one.
like razor ones that had like little like spiral.
It made a sound too.
Remember the plastic tubes people would
Yeah.
keep their Pogs
Yeah.
Oh my god.
in? Didn't they even make
Pogs.
like the plastic sheets? Like that you put them in a binder, you could put your
Yeah,
Pogs
You're right.
into?
You're right.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I think I had
Collection.
some X-Men Pogs.
Oh yeah,
back
I
in
had
the day.
I had
think
X-Men Pogs
yeah.
too. I was really sad when I lost literally all my Pogs one day, and I just cried and cried and cried.
See, I didn't lose them on the schoolyard. They just disappeared over the years. Like I don't know whatever
they were-
became of them.
they were
just
only- Yeah, they were only famous for like 3 months.
Yeah.
I remember reading something.
Yeah.
The fad only lasted a certain amount of
Seemed a lot
months.
longer when we were kids, but you know what they should have done? Vince McMahon should start up Pog FL.
yeah. XF Pog.
Oh no, or X-Pog, right? X-Pog.
Pog.
Yeah.
And then this
Right?
could be a Pog cast.
Yeah.
Talk about different Pogs and Slammers.
Yeah.
Shane, you need to change your entire podcast.
Yeah,
to
that's
podcast.
Whole new idea.
While we play Pogs.
Podcasts.
Yeah. Podcast.
How about Pogs as a drinking game? Like slammers? You got to slam a beer? Is there anything there?
I think that's the adult version, but yeah, I don't know.
No, I meant for kids. I meant,
I don't see this game catching on like on the playground, Garrett.
I want
think
a
there might be some
Pog
problems
drinking
with
game
it.
for like 1st through 5th
For
graders.
12-year-olds.
You got to slam your Capri Sun,
Yeah.
dude. Hope you don't get a goddamn sugar rush.
Wait. Just there should be a drinking game for kids, but it's by like with juice.
Let's do
Or
it.
Lucas. Do you remember Lucas? There's like
Oh,
that green sugar salt
Okay, yeah.
stuff that was in the
Is
little
it called
tubes.
Lucas?
Is it called Lucas? I
Or
think it's
locust?
Sugar salt?
It was this
It's
weird
like
fucking
sugar,
thing.
It's like sugar and salt and
What does Leslie Knope
Lime?
call that
It was
in Parks and
lime.
Rec?
yeah, and
Salger?
kids would lick it. Kids would put it in their hand and lick
it did
it.
happen
Yeah.
in Vegas. Yeah,
It was
It
like
was almost like a pepper.
it was something
it was different
weird.
flavors, but yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's Lucas or locust or something like
No,
that.
I
Yeah.
think Lucas is right.
And it was a picture of like a
That was just
cartoon duck.
Every person that I know that's named Lucas is just.
Do you,
Yeah,
it's
and
like
for a second
it was
I
a
thought
picture like a
Garner called him
cartoon duck or
Lucas.
something.
I was like, no,
Hey,
his
do you
name's
remember
Shane.
Lucas?
Yeah, I thought you were talking about somebody from school or something. I was like, I
don't
Lucas.
remember
Yeah, I don't know
Lucas.
anyone named Lucas.
Yeah,
George Lucas.
but drinking game for kids.
Yeah, I think that's a loser, Mikey. I don't know. I'm just telling you.
Hey.
Especially when you market it that way, a drinking game for kids. It just sounds like you're going to get trouble.
Okay, what then? How can we say it better? A fun time for kids.
No, they're getting
See,
worse.
just
You're,
not.
yeah, you're
no, stop
skewing
now.
worse.
Oh god,
The FBI is watching you
Yep.
now, Mikey. You're on
we just
several
got
lists.
red flag now.
Maybe if we drive around in a van and
Well-
see if kids want to play it.
You said that.
Hand out candy.
Sorry, yeah. That's right.
Well, I wanted the whole reason why we got on the subject of Pogs and just went on a tear there.
Welcome to the Mikey and
The
Coach
Mikey and
Show.
Coach
Just
Show.
randomly.
Tangent.
I think
I'm
that's why.
gonna try to circle back around to
Yeah,
what my original
yeah.
point was.
Sorry.
I didn't know this about the X-Men. So the X-Men was created in 1961, right?
Sure.
And that was during the Civil Rights era. And there's a theory going around. There's a theory that says that Professor X was modeled after Dr. Martin Luther King, and Magneto was modeled after Malcolm X.
Yeah, no, I've heard that for a long time, like in comic books. That's supposed to be kind of like the dichotomy sort of between them, the one who's like...
Because
everyone's
mutants are supposed to be
peaceful.
like colored people or people of color.
Well, it's kind of
Right.
now, it's like a stand-in
So is
for
it-
basically just like
No,
people who are like other.
Other or weird or the outstanding people, right?
Yeah.
Well, I can also see a bunch of old, white guys writing these comics, being like, we're going to do something so powerful for the civil rights movement,
And make 'em
but
all
let's
white.
make them all white.
Storm was in there.
You know who's a great person? Martin Luther King.
But like, imagine if he was
he
white.
doesn't seem right. Let's shave off his hair. Put him in a wheelchair.
You're totally right.
Yeah.
And make him white. Yeah, let's make him white.
We'll make him crippled and bald, but white, nonetheless.
It has to be white.
Yeah.
It has to be white.
Not like
Magneto,
not like
Magneto.
affluent white, but white.
Who was Magneto modeled after?
Malcolm X.
Oh, Malcolm X. Yeah. So yeah, Malcolm X. Yeah. Let's just make him white and with magnets.
Yeah.
Magnet X. That should have been his name.
Magnet.
When he has Asteroid M.
Asteroid
M.
I
thought it was
Magnet.
Asteroid X for a second.
You're thinking of Planet X, that Grant Morrison story where it turns out to be,
Zorn.
Spoilers, but it's like from like 12 years ago. So
So you should have read it by now.
yeah, if you haven't read it by now, sorry, screw you.
Who's not?
Don't get
white?
mad at me at your comic shop.
Oh, Bishop, right?
Who?
Who's not white on the X-Men?
Oh, you get a lot of. I mean,
Now-
there's Storm. I mean, even
Nightcrawler.
there was Ford.
Nightcrawler's blue.
Nightcrawler's blue.
Beast is an animal.
Who came first?
Now, Beast was
Storm
a
one of
white
the
guy.
first?
No, Storm was part of like the second generation. Because when the X-Men first started in the '60s, it was not a very well received comic. It basically failed. They did like 63 issues of it, and then
That's a lot of issues.
but then they put it into
Did you
reprint.
fail?
That's
But they published a
5
lot
years.
of stuff back then. Yeah, 5 or 6 years. Yeah.
12 issues a year.
Did it take a long time back then?
Well,
to
no,
print?
and then they got rid of it. Like they quit publishing X-Men comics for like 10 or some odd years, and then Chris Claremont came in with like the new generation, and that's where you got like Wolverine, Nightcrawler, Colossus, Storm, Thunderbird, and Banshee. I think.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Look at the big brain on Garner.
Boom, X-Men. Yeah.
Well, maybe they shouldn't have made them white, and maybe they would.
They wouldn't need to reboot it. It might have worked better the first time.
The white men.
Yeah.
I'm sure Shane will edit this out.
I don't know. We'll keep that one in there.
Well, you should give everyone like one mulligan, like where you can say, "Nope, edit that's an edit."
But I'd use my mulligan way too early.
Yeah, then you'd regret it.
I'd say something terribly offensive later on. I'd be like, no, I already used it.
I'd sell you mine.
Can I buy a second mulligan?
No, but yeah, like I was really fascinated by that, by the articles in there, and like about Superman and just how they were running out of ideas because he was basically unstoppable. So a lot of it was just reiteration after reiteration of trying to like, okay, let's just take his powers away little by little to make it a little bit more like he could die a little more.
And then that became Batman.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Well, that's where Superman's too powerful and stuff. How do you really fuck with Superman?
Well, then in the late 90s, they turned, or was it mid 90s in the JLA when Grant Morrison turned Superman into that blue electric Superman.
Yeah, they tried to give him a new power set. Yeah,
and they kind of gave him like a whole new power set. And it only lasted
a year or two.
Maybe it was a good story. JLA by Grant Morrison is a great run, but. It's a bizarre.
What kind of powers were they going to give him, or did they give him?
So he was basically like made out of electricity for a while.
He was faster, as fast as electricity. He traveled through electricity.
It was like if you took away some of his like ice breath and stuff like that, and just kind of made him like a Flash hybrid.
Yeah, and he could still fly and everything.
His S was an electric S, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
It's like a white.
He did do this rad thing in the
on his planet. It means hope. I haven't even seen that
fucking
movie. I haven't even seen that movie.
I think what's that comedian's name who did the Badman series on Funny or Die?
I'm not familiar with this.
Where Pete Holmes. Pete Holmes.
Yeah, I've seen those things. Yeah,
and he's when
the Holmes
Superman.
Effect, whatever.
It's a symbol for hope. He's like, it's an S. Stupid. Hope is with an H.
Oh, he does the Batman voice. Yeah. I hate the Batman.
The one with the one with Patton Oswalt was really funny.
Oh, the Marvel Star Wars like mashup thing.
No, it was Patton Oswalt played the Penguin.
Oh, I don't think I've seen this.
You haven't seen that one?
No.
Oh, dude.
He does the other funny things where he does like the Street Fighter ones. And it's
the Street Fighter ones are so good.
Well, it's really funny because it's an HR department, and he's interviewing all the Street Fighter characters.
Oh my god!
And he's like, "All right, so you're Doll Sim, and you do yoga, and you're violently fighting in this tournament. Why?" He's like, "Well, it's just my thing."
So let me get this straight. You're Buddhist?
Yeah, you're Buddhist, and you shoot fire, and you say yoga flame.
That's good.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
It's really, really funny. He did, and the people who play the Street Fighter characters are semi-recognizable people. Like what's it? Zack Slater? Is that Zack
Snyder?
Zack Snyder? No,
That's the guy that directed.
The guy who not
in Silicon Valley.
The guy who played Zack in Saved by the Bell.
Oh, Zach Morris.
Oh, Zach.
He plays Ryu.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Ryu is white.
I know.
Or Ryu.
Why? I think didn't they bring that up?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Well, he goes Hadouken.
Wait, wouldn't he be like a way better like Ken fit? I mean, isn't he a blonde guy?
Ken is the dude from Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
The main guy?
Yeah, the main guy. Yeah.
I really don't like that guy. Like, there's something about him that kind of bothers me.
You see the nerd version of him, but he's wide ranged.
I guess I'm thinking of him from the Verizon commercials.
Yeah.
God, they come on and they just like make me like cringe, kind of like.
Well, it's because it's the same one every goddamn commercial break.
It's probably
it's
that
one
I
where
just hate
Verizon's behind the
That's why.
fucking curtain.
Oh, that's the new one.
Yeah,
that's the new one. The one where he comes up to the wedding and he's always like, "Oh, you trying to film this wedding? You can't film that because you're not on Verizon. You don't have enough space."
Should we take this moment to tell people
Sponsored by
tell
Verizon.
Sprint we're just not going to go to Sprint?
No,
We're sponsored by Verizon.
I'm sorry, we're just not going to go to Sprint. It's just not going to happen.
Shane, can you hear me now?
You're the "can hear you now" guy. but we're with 1% of the failure rate or whatever's
That's such a strange campaign to be
but
we're not as good as them, but we're close enough that you shouldn't pay as much as they're charging you.
But 1% of however many million of people who have phones, that's a lot of fucking percentage.
And to me, it sounds like you're not trying anymore. You know what I mean? So we're less than 1% from them, but we're okay with that. So we're always going to be there, you know. So just that's how it's going to be, guys.
Yeah.
I had Sprint years ago, and I'll never go back.
Was it bad?
It was the worst. And then a buddy of mine, Zach, Zach in my band went to Sprint, or someone in my band, I think it was him. He went to Sprint. Oh yeah. And when we were traveling, every one of us had service except for him. And he was so pissed. So he had this brand new phone that he just bought, and he's so happy to use it, and he can't. Because he can't get on the damn internet.
Yeah, that sucks. I went to Haiti last year or whatever. Verizon doesn't work there. Just
at all?
Not at all. T-Mobile works there.
I was going to say, which companies do work in Haiti?
T-Mobile.
AT&T does, doesn't they? Don't they?
I don't know.
I thought AT&T was worldwide.
My friend had T-Mobile, so she had service and she can text out. I'm just sitting there with just my phone taking pictures. Not that I needed to call people while I was in Haiti.
Hey, I'm just in Haiti.
Just Hating up.
Yeah, what'd you go for?
Oh, it was for my company. It was Zappos for Good, and we went there, and it was a program that you can donate your shoes and ship them through Zappos or whatever. We pay for the fee of all the shipping, so you can donate all your old shit. And then it goes to this other company called Souls for Souls, and they distribute all the donated items from everywhere, all across the U.S.
That's
and
cool.
They ship it to Haiti, they ship it to all around the world, to all different types of lower economy places. And then what happens is they take the donated items and they actually give it to, instead of distributing all the items out, they actually give businesses to people there. They're like, hey, we're going to actually sell you these shoes for cents to $1 of these shoes. So people would buy these shoes and they would resell it in the market in there. So it would create a little micro economy for them.
That's really smart.
Yeah, and so a bunch of women would do this who couldn't get jobs in Haiti or anywhere else. So they would do this. Go to the market.
It's not like a normal charity. It's here's a bunch of money, do what you want with it.
Because this is actually revaluating the shoes and also giving people jobs.
Yeah, it's like giving people incentive to sell it.
Exactly.
You know?
So we went to Haiti to see the whole process and film the process.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it was really
fucking
awesome.
Zappos, man. They just fucking kill it.
Yeah,
They really do, man. Your company does a lot of great things.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Souls for Souls, though, it always sounds like it's something different.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, Garrett! we were having a good moment here, and you had to ruin it.
You know?
So they take
sounds like
soul.
it sounds like I'm trading you my soul for shoes. The way you guys want to do this trade, it's Souls for Souls.
Yeah.
You know.
Funny story about that.
It's not apples to
All right,
oranges.
now that I listen to it,
Souls
back.
for souls.
No, what's
weird.
It's just like
a
when
little
so-
dicky thing. Apples to oranges. They're both same. They're both fruit.
They're both fruit, but it's just so we do at the restaurant I work at. We do like stuffed sole, and it's always crab in the sole, always. But I always just say stuffed sole on the chance that one time a customer's going to ask me, "But what's your soul stuffed with?" And I could just say the Spirit of the Lord.
So you're waiting for someone to feed you that line.
Yeah. It hasn't happened yet. Worked
Soul's
there for
a
5
fish,
years.
right? S-O-L?
Yeah. SOLE.
And when they call it a Dover sole, is that the way you make it, or is that the
That's
type of the
where
fish?
it's caught from, and the waters it's found in off the coast of Dover. Is it Maryland? Dover, Delaware, or Dover, Maryland?
I feel
How
like
come
it's,
you don't
I feel
know
like
this?
it's Maryland.
I was going to guess
think
that it
it's
was
Maryland.
I was going to guess that it was in England, so I am totally wrong. It appears.
Cool.
It's one of those lands.
It might be England. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
could be-
basically, I sell the shit out of it. I'm like, yo, you want this soul? I don't know where it's from.
Dover.
Dover. But I think Dover sole, that term is actually for a way that like a French chef would come. I think Dover sole is technically prepared tableside, or at least cut table side. It comes out the whole fish, and they're gonna scrape it off the bone for you
Oh, that's
onto your
cool.
plate. We just do regular ass sole.
Is that what you guys say? Is that what it says on the menu? Regular ass sole.
Yeah.
Just reg soul.
That's why we got to stuff it with shit.
Gary, you should write the menu at this place, man. I think your descriptions
Speaking
are spot
of,
on.
did you guys hear about the TripAdvisor? It was on Vice, but this guy he was in England, and he was a writer, and one of his first job was to write fake reviews for companies or restaurants, because that's what people on like TripAdvisor would do. Or is that the name of the website?
I think
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so people would pay this guy to write fake reviews because he's a writer and eloquent or whatnot. So he just basically took it and was like, this is bullshit or whatnot. So he started up his own restaurant called it's a Shed on Dulwich or whatever. But it was like the house that he lived at, and it was a little small shed that he lived at. Mm-hmm. But he basically took pictures of like all this type of food and like wrote all these reviews, got all his friends to write all these reviews, and he became #1 restaurant on TripAdvisor in England, but it never existed.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because every time he would he bought a burner phone from like the convenience store, and that would be the restaurant's phone, and every time people would call in, it kept on rising because all the fake reviews would push it up. So people would call in and try to book a reservation there, and it's like, I'm sorry, we're booked, we can't do that. And it's like, oh, I want a table for Christmas. Oh, I'm sorry, we're all booked up already. So that just kept on rising.
So why did he do this just to make a point?
Yeah, he just made a point that there's a lot, like you can't tell if it's a fake review or not.
Did he ever serve anybody? I mean, were there some people that he did serve?
Yeah, so once it became #1, it became so big that he's like, I don't know how to end this, so I'm just going to basically open it up to everybody or to a couple people. Mm-hmm. So he actually took some reservations. He spruced up his whole like little shed, and you can only eat outside. And he would blindfold people that would to come in. And it was funny. He had a DJ there playing restaurant sounds to make it sound like a real restaurant.
So you ate the whole meal blindfolded?
No. So you get blindfolded walking into the place, so you couldn't see like where the actual place was. So you meet it on the corner of the street, and you get blindfolded to walk to the place.
Okay.
And all the food was microwavable food. Yeah.
Nice.
So and here's the thing: he didn't want to get sued by anybody, so he everything was free. It was like a press night. So he's
okay.
So he was just fooling everybody, and he microwaved everything and put it in all these like fancy cups or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
And then everyone's like, "Oh, I recommend the mac and cheese. It was so delicious." And it just because it was so alluring and so weird that it was the #1 spot.
See, like I know you and Garrett are like foodies, kind of. I mean, are you Shane? Are you? See, I'm not. Good food is wasted on me. You know what I mean? You could give me like a top of the line steak, or you could give me some shitty steak, and I wouldn't really be able to tell the difference.
I've eaten at quote unquote fancy restaurants, and I've had really good steak.
Yeah,
but that really good steak is fucking this big, and it's $70.
yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? Fuck you and fuck your steak.
Yeah.
I don't want give me an actual giant plates full. If I'm spending a grocery list worth of food, I expect at least a plate of food
to leave full.
And to leave full, exactly.
Yeah, you know.
But some people are like, well, your taste, your palate isn't
I can understand that.
refined enough to eat here. Then and I'm like, well, then fuck you. I don't like. It's so pretentious. I just don't like. No,
it's very pretentious. No, I
don't like it.
There is on Chef's Tables on Netflix. There's this like place in Chicago. You pay like $300-$400 for like a 12-course meal or something. One of the courses though is like a pillow comes out. And it's basically a plastic bag and a pillow sheet over it. And
I can't imagine where this is going.
I'm trying and I can't.
I don't know if it was a full course. It might have been an element of one of the courses.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
You eat the pillow at some point?
No, it's just an essence. It was called essence of nutmeg.
You take a nap?
Because no, he like burnt a nutmeg
and one of those smoking guns.
The smoking guns, yeah, and then put the smoke into this plastic bag. Came out in the pillow, and they popped the pillow, and then you're supposed to breathe in the
fuck
nutmeg.
out of here. If I went to this restaurant, I'd be like, I can cut out that portion of the meal. You know what I mean? How much does that save me? You know, you just count that out. You know?
In a sense, one of the other courses or whatever the element thing, they had like a log come out.
Oh my god!
Oh, you don't know?
No.
It was the
cool.
centerpiece of the table. You
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
know it was
You didn't
part of the
know,
meal.
yeah. Oh,
It's just
okay.
a decoration, and then your
Okay.
server
Flames.
comes up and sets it on fire.
Okay.
And the sides of it kind of fall down, and you realize in the middle, because it's been like there's been candles on it the whole time.
Right.
You realize it's been slowly cooking this little. I can't remember if
Chicken?
it was like
No, not
it was
like a real chicken.
What was it like?
They
foie
trap
gras?
him in there.
It was
Foie gras, oh, yeah.
It was like foie gras, one of these like small, like really delicate, like foie gras is goose liver.
Yeah.
Like so it was
Okay.
like, and so basically this thing's been cooking at your table while you've been eating.
But you didn't know.
So that's my surprise. Like, surprise, goose liver. It's not a great surprise.
That's why it's called foie gras.
So here's the thing. So when Garner said he's not exactly a foodie,
Yeah.
he wasn't really representing himself that fairly. What he meant to say was Garner has ordered chicken fingers at every restaurant you can possibly order chicken
That's true.
fingers
Where's
at.
the best
Garner
chicken fingers?
has
Outback.
He knows. We've
Hands
been out
down.
to eat like at family dinner at like a nice place, and Garner, over the age of 21, he's in his 30s now, had to ask for a kids menu so he could get
And
chicken
crowns,
fingers or like a grilled cheese sandwich or something like that.
Dude,
If you can't dip it in ranch or ketchup, Garner doesn't want to eat it.
Yeah, I've been. It's and burgers too. I remember we went to like some fancy place out for like friends, like whatever celebration, and like we're like an Italian, but I'll take the burger.
I mean it honestly. Good food is wasted on me. You know, I have a cheap taste. It's who I am.
No,
I'm
I
from the
can
terms of
totally
that.
understand that. I can totally understand that because I'm the same way.
Where's the most fanciest place you've eaten at?
The fanciest place. I know there was one place
sounds good.
that the president of Red Bull Records took us out to, and I can't remember the name of it.
The Palm and King Prime.
The Palm and
Oh, the
yeah,
Palm is fancy.
Palm's
the
They're
Palm
like
is pretty
right?
fancy. Yeah, that was pretty much the
Is that
most
like
expensive.
American or Italian place? Or is
It's
it
it's an American steakhouse, but they have some like pastas and stuff
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
But the server's going to try to discourage you from ordering the pasta.
What was the, okay? What was the most
And the chicken
disappointing
fingers.
thing besides steak?
Oh no,
because
it was
steak-
all great. It was all great because I didn't have to pay for it.
right. No, but what's one thing that you got and you're like, oh, it sounds fancy. I'm going to try it fancy, and then you were like, whatever. I don't care about that.
Well, no,
Didn't they have like squid ink pasta?
but that was good. That was really good. That was really
you
good.
go.
And
It's
it's
slowly
pasta.
baby
Pasta's
steps, baby
filling.
steps. Yeah.
Pasta's filling. It's just like the steak is what gets me. Because the
Well, I get
steak
that.
is like
When, to me,
this big.
And also,
Yeah.
a lot of these steakhouses where you're going to pay $70 for a fillet, you know, an 8-ounce
Kobe
fillet
beef.
or something like that, they do nothing with it. They add like no accoutrements, no sauces, nothing like that.
Right.
It's just going to
Salt,
be
pepper.
it's going to be a charred steak cooked to the perfect temperature you want, but
It's a-
that's it. It's going to have
it's-
salt and pepper, and that's it,
It's actually offensive if you ask for A1.
or something like that. Yeah.
Oh no, yeah,
like-
for sure. They're very pretentious. Like, no, how dare you?
See, but I think you could branch out. I think you could try so we do like a 16-ounce like bone-in like ribeye, and sometimes we'll do like a green peppercorn sauce with it. We'll do it pizzaiola style. That's like with some roasted red peppers, some marinara, some roasted mushrooms, a lot of different. And it's also a 16-ounce steak. And it costs $60, but
Right.
you will be full.
Delicious. No, at their place, you were there for your bachelor party. The eggplant parmesan.
Oh,
that your
Eggplant with
place,
the rollatini.
Spectacular.
The
rollatini,
rollatini.
So good.
Which is
So
it's
good.
like you say eggplant parmesan, you're like. In my past life, I was like, or getting eggplant parmesan, and you're like, man, whatever. But that one, I was like, I can't wait to go back to eat it again because
Yeah.
that was delicious.
But at your same point, it's like I'm afraid of branching out and getting something like, for example, I'll order like a quesadilla.
You don't want to waste the money on something you don't know.
For sure,
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to branch out with
And when you're
$60
hungry,
meal.
and when
gotta
you're
take a risk.
hungry, when you're like, I'm hungry right now. I could branch out and try something different, and it might suck, and I don't like it. I'll
Right.
stick to what's good.
Yeah, and you know pretty much what you're going to get when you order a third pound burger or a half pound burger. You're like, okay, at least I'm getting meat that's a half pound. I'm going to be full after
Yeah.
It might not be the best burger I've ever had, but you know what? I'm going to be full.
Garrett, that's the restaurant we should open up. We make fancy chicken fingers, fancy burgers, fancy kid meals. Oh, and it's just all kid.
It's called Fancy Kids.
Fancy.
No, bad name again.
Bad name again.
But
How about
a
this?
good
though?
idea. You can work on the name.
We employ kids to be our wait or like
child labor
You know?
laws. Child labor laws.
You're not good
Mikey.
at this, Mikey.
But anyways, kid
The
items.
rule I try to do is I say I'll try anything once, and then that's kind of the rule I've held myself to. Yeah, pretty much. You're making the scrutinizing look at me. I mean, what have I ever turned down? I try to. I'm game for it.
Ever since you got married, you have been branching.
Yes.
Look.
So recently, Garner tries
Recently.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, you know what? And you can attest to this. We went to eat at which Mexican restaurant did we go to? And I was like uber pissed that the size of the quesadilla was not what was it. Las Palmas. Las Palmas, get your fucking shit together. I ordered a $8 quesadilla. Okay, and usually when an $8 quesadilla comes out,
It's a full
how many?
plate.
It's a full plate meal.
Yeah.
You know, it's a quesadilla fucking dia.
Yeah. What'd you get?
I apparently got the kids menu item that they
Yeah,
just said, you know
one.
what, that's going to be the quesadilla
There's
from
like
now
a
on.
tortilla folded in half, like on a half.
Like,
Oh,
Fancy quesadilla.
I did it twice.
I did it twice, and I'm never fucking doing it again. I was so upset.
I've had quesadilla.
Appetizers, because those are usually the kids' menus are always like appetizers, like chicken fingers, quesadillas, nachos. Or
But
whatever.
at a Mexican
Call it
restaurant, when you order a quesadilla, quesadilla doesn't mean a kid's menu item.
Yeah.
Quesadilla is usually a full menu item, which
Yeah.
I had ordered twice. And twice I got the smallest little one. It's like I didn't know. I didn't realize I ordered the taquitos.
This is a quesadilla for ants.
I'm so fucking mad.
Yeah. You get that anger, man. You know, you bring me my quesadilla. Bring me what I want.
Shane doesn't get pissed, but he was.
And so
Maybe
from
you
now
steam.
on, every
much
time
was
I go
it?
to any Mexican restaurant, I don't get the quesadilla. I used to get the quesadilla. That used to be
Sworn
my
off-
fucking item.
Sworn off quesadillas.
Yeah. Now I'm getting burritos. Now I'm getting like I want the fucking monster burrito or the burritos, whatever. I just want just a bunch of stuff and put it on my plate, please. I don't want to take any more fucking chances of you giving me the smallest fucking quesadilla.
You know who can pull off this like kid menu thing? Bobby Flay.
Bobby Flay, because he never makes what the judges tell him to make.
Yeah.
Because they'll be like make chicken parmesan. He'll be like, well, what I did is I baked a chicken and I wrapped it between two waffles, and so you can see
It's my
how
take of chicken parm, and he wins. He always fucking wins.
the judges were like, this is so innovative. It's not like any chicken parm I've had before. Like, it's like, yeah, 'cause it's not chicken parm.
Yeah, if you ever have a chance, watch
If I ordered
Bobby
chicken
Flay.
parm and Bobby Flay gave me his waffle bullshit, I'd be like, no, this isn't like. At least he got a quesadilla.
Right, exactly.
I got some form of a quesadilla.
He couldn't argue about like what the food was. I'd be like, I said popcorn chicken, not popcorn and chicken.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we went to the strip earlier on today. And we passed by Hell's Kitchen.
There's a Hell's Kitchen?
Yeah, they just opened it.
Yeah, they're shooting the show at Caesar's.
Shit, we gotta go.
I
it's
know
like-
that's
but
what
it's
I'm
like an
saying.
Master Chef next month.
Yeah, but it's like an actual like restaurant that he's opened. I think that's
Wait,
going to be
wait.
like long standing, like Hell's Kitchen.
I think so, but I think they're also shooting his current season of Hell's Kitchen.
Right.
That's-
Okay, all
yeah.
right.
That's-
What do you mean Master Chef next month? You're going to Master Chef next month?
No,
You tried out?
it's premiering.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
great. Oh, it was something
Oh
to
yeah,
watch.
yeah, me.
Yeah, you're like, yeah.
I still got all my eggs in that bachelorette basket.
Great
I don't
topic
want
to
to be the
discuss.
bachelorette, you know.
Bachelor-
All right, so last time Mikey was on my podcast, I had discussed that you guys are really into The Bachelorette, and he had told me not really into it, but like
was. Yeah, it's way not.
Now just kind of into it.
But then, man, it's such a great idea of just you guys need to make it a show somehow. Is you guys watch The Bachelorette and then comment
us
on
watching the match. Yeah, we did it. We tried to do it after it was one of the after we stopped doing our show. We were just it was like, oh, we're watching Bachelorette. Let's put a camera of us watching The Bachelorette.
Like a reaction.
Like the Mystery Science Theater 3000.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it just, you know what? That was better when we also had our friend Seth coming over to watch it. So here's the thing. I guess, I'll fess up. I like to smoke a lot of weed before I watch The Bachelor.
Hey, it's legal here in Las Vegas, okay? So you're totally fine.
So I know why I liked watching it. I know why Seth liked watching it. This guy's sober as a bird sitting there watching it. I don't know what he was getting out of it. I don't like. I thought it was hilarious, funniest thing I've ever seen.
I love the good stories, you know? Yes, I don't.
He was watching it for the plot points. I was watching it for when they like show like a serious dramatic moment and then cut away to a crab on a beach.
But see,
Bachelor in Paradise.
True.
Yeah, but see, I think that's the funny thing about me is like, yeah, I don't smoke weed, but I think I have a weed mind. Like I think how pot people. Or
well, he's lived with me. We've lived together for a long time, and we have plenty of good conversations where I'm like, oh my god, like I'm being such a stoner right now, and he's like, no, dude, I get it. Like, yeah, man, like, I get it.
Let's keep going.
He's like, yeah, that's a good idea, dude.
No, I have a lot of stoner thoughts, like sober stoner thoughts. I can't think of them right now.
Some stoner thoughts are brilliant.
On occasion.
On occasion.
I'm trying to think if I have one.
Unless you're caught staring at the broth box.
Oh god, the broth box should have a seat here. How much Shane and I talked about it the other night.
We did. We got into a conversation.
Broth box?
Yeah,
you had to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently.
Long story
Do you
short,
know what the broth box is?
No.
Oh, the broth box.
Broth.
So broth box. There it is, right there. Give it a little. It's over there by. Yeah, there you go. Broth box. So me and Garrett had a conversation. He asked me if I smoked weed. I was like, yeah, I mean, I've smoked, and it doesn't like affects me weird. And like I'll be just sitting down, and everyone's having this great conversation about the fucking universe, and just expanding their minds. And I'm sitting in the corner looking at the broth box and just staring at it for God knows how long. It seems like an hour, but it's only been 5 minutes.
On your screen are you on the beach riding horses?
That was like my number one bucket list thing to do, and I get to do it this summer.
That's cool.
Yeah, we went to Portland and we rode.
That's in Portland? I didn't think that would be in Portland.
Well, it's not in Portland. It's not exactly Portland.
What country
it was,
did you imagine that was in, Mikey?
Like Mexico or something.
Oh, okay.
We've seen it on The Bachelor.
That's one of like the top 5 most romantic dates you can go on is a horse ride on the beach.
What is it? Destinations by Jorge? Or
it wasn't necessarily the most romantic thing for me, anyway, because we have a guide. And it was actually really nice. It was like overcast, as you can see in the picture. It was overcast, and it was like kind of rainy, but not. And it was really nice weather. And my horse was the oldest horse because I don't know how to fucking ride horses.
What was your horse's name? Do you remember?
I can't remember. Sally, or a horse name. It's like Sally or
all the Sallys watching this are here. Yeah, it's just
like
really,
I never
Sally's
knew I had a
horse.
horse
So-
name.
The girls always said that in school.
Sally, you're beautiful.
So I get the most trained horse because I've ridden a horse when I was 5, and that was basically it. And I'm fucking terrified of them. They're just huge, ginormous beasts that at any moment can just be like, fuck this, I'm going, and you're going with me.
And you're going with us.
That's true.
Yeah.
At any moment. They're not a car. I can't really control it.
No, yeah.
Some people can. Yes, we're talking about horses. And my wife, my beautiful wife, she has worked with horses. She's, in her grown up riding, all that stuff. So this is what she wanted to do. And so I get the old Sally horse. And so we're doing the trail. We're doing the trail, and the guide tells me how to kind of control the horse, and I'm controlling it all right. I'm like, all right, I got this. This is pretty cool. And she's doing what I'm telling her to do a little bit, yeah. And then we get to the place we get to the halfway point of the trail, and we take pictures and we do all that stuff, and we start heading back. Well, this horse decides, you know what? There's food at the end of this trail. We're gonna get there faster than all these fuckers. We're just gonna keep going, and I don't care what you tell me to do. I'm just going to go. So I'm trying to tell it because at this point I'm like 30 feet, 100 feet away from
200 feet.
Ash and the guy.
It's a wide range.
And so I'm like yelling back at the guide. I'm like, hey, is she supposed to be doing this? She's not doing what I'm telling her to do. And the guy just smiled at me. He's like,
yeah, man,
I
whatever.
think you'll be fine.
He's like, it's my first day. Like, I don't know.
I don't know either.
and so at a certain point I was like, well, me and Sally are going in on it alone. Me and Sally are on this together.
You and good old Sal.
Yeah.
She just went right to where she needs to go, and I got there before everyone else.
Well, that's really you ended
30
up.
minutes before everybody.
Yeah, I was
Did
she just went and did her thing.
Did
you break some kind of record? Did you get a prize?
I don't know.
Fastest down the trail?
What's the good thing? Sally didn't want to go to like a strip club or to like get some drugs or something. I mean, you could have really been in, or a rave. Yeah, you could have really been in trouble, man.
It was the horse.
rave. Just a little horse rave. He's like, man, we got to go on this trip real fast. I'm missing the rave right
And
now.
you get at the rave and it's all horses.
Horses with like the glow sticks and they're just dancing like this.
Like
Just
some
wait for
face
that
paint
beat to
on
drop.
and stuff, you know.
When the beat drops, the horses go
Oh,
crazy.
it's wild, dude.
No naysayers in here. Ha ha, except there are.
When the beat drops, they go,
If nobody could tell, we've been drinking tonight.
They play Neonce.
Neonce.
Keep it going. Keep
the
it
single
going.
Horses.
All the single horses.
So
Oh,
yeah,
so you
Portland
know
was great. Portland was great. We went to Portland. We went to yeah. We're
If you like it, then
Portland's
you should have put a saddle
yeah.
on
We
it.
smoked weed on the beach, which was pretty
fancy.
awesome.
It's fancy.
Even though that weed was legal, we were still like hiding it. We were still like in the open, just kind of like, should we do this now?
Yeah,
Should we? Should we? Because there were people walking by, and you don't want to like, because it was at a beach, so there were kids and stuff, and so you can't just like start toking right in front of kids. You know, you can't do that shit.
That's a great
Yeah.
picture.
Oh, look at me.
How come this isn't like the picture for your podcast?
It should be.
It should be. It
That's,
really
that's
should.
the face of terror right there.
That's amazing.
That is,
That is the
yeah.
face of terror.
That's amazing. That's in Portland?
Yeah,
No,
I mean
Cannon
Cannon
Beach.
Beach.
On the coast.
Yeah, it's like
Is
an
that-
hour away
Is
from
that
Portland.
the same beach in Goonies?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh.
yes.
Wow, Mikey,
Dude,
your beach knowledge
So,
is amazing.
my point. So we went.
Oh,
we
is that
went-
the...
Yep.
That's the house?
Yep.
Oh,
Yes.
shit.
That was in a story.
We went to Astoria, and I
you watch
was.
Goonies? You've never seen... Oh, it's...
Yeah.
It's too late for you. Don't watch it. No, really. I didn't see
you know
it.
what? So that's not. And what I'm saying isn't accurate. I've seen Goonies. I've
Bits
seen
and pieces.
Well, I've seen
Truffle Shuffle.
half of it at somebody's house, half of it at somebody else's house. I've never sat down and watched Goonies all the way through myself. But yes, I know that I'm familiar with the characters.
Gotcha. Is it one of the, after all the parts that you've seen? There's no interest.
No.
It's a children's
It's a
movie.
kids movie. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like if you watch it, if I watch it now, I loved it so much as a kid.
You have
It's
that
nostalgia.
nostalgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
But
speaking
if you
of,
never watched it,
yeah, if you've never, but look, dude, I had to do this. This was one of my goals. This was one of my
did you
goals.
truffle shuffle at the gate?
No.
Oh,
That's awesome.
oh, you.
That's cool.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
We were at the top of.
He was so pleased with himself in that video.
Which so I'm guessing. I mean, I've
don't
only
need to
seen
see it.
Goonies like
Yeah.
once. Like that's like a shot from
That's
the
it.
movie.
When's
Basically.
the what age did you watch it?
Derek, our buddy Derek, made me watch it when I was probably like 21 or 22 or something. That's what I mean by with Garrett. It's too late at that point. Just like if you met someone our age now that hadn't seen like The Sandlot or something.
Oh, yeah.
No,
you
I bet
couldn't
Sandlot holds up. I bet it does. I don't know.
I bet you it wouldn't.
Baseball. No, but the Derek
Maybe
should
it would.
Derek should have his own thing. Garrett, do you want to explain the apple?
The apple is a gift from my sister-in-law, and it is a.
Oh, here.
Well, like she gave me it with the symbol carved into
koozie?
it. The koozie, but so it means good luck, and like the Chinese New Year.
Because the Chinese
Yeah.
New Year is happening
Is this a
soon.
recent apple?
Yes. And so that's the thing. I almost wanted to ask him to be like, oh, that's just how she gave it to me. Like I guess like,
it
it's kind
comes.
of like to like
She bought a
display
whole
it.
bunch of them, and it comes in that little
yeah, no.
sleeve.
Well, I wanted to ask, like, am I supposed to eat my good luck apple?
Yeah, no, 'cause it gives you good luck.
Okay.
Oh shit! You
Yeah,
better
it's like
eat
a-
it
it's
soon
like a
before it
lu-
rots.
Well, then I'll have it in my pocket the next time I'm gambling.
You should. It's like a
And-
lucky apple.
Well,
yeah.
how long does it take for an apple to deteriorate?
Like the
Like they rot, you mean?
Yeah.
And we buy a bunch
Like,
of apples. It's like a week or
you're
two.
like, they have like a holder for individual apples.
Yeah, no shit.
Wait, have you guys never seen that?
Is that like a big
Have you guys never seen the little wraps for like fruit?
No.
It's a Chinatown thing.
We've seen these.
It is an Asian thing.
It's an Asian thing, yeah. She buys these pears all the time. And
no,
stuff.
I guess
Yeah,
it is
it's
an
a-
Asian
it's a
thing because I've seen
Chinatown
that as a
thing.
kid all the time.
Yeah.
But like like it stands up on its own, right? Like it's an apple.
Apples normally stand.
Like they don't need a kickstand. Your bicycle needs a kickstand.
You know what it's for?
Your apple doesn't.
You know what it's for? Because they individually wrap them because they don't want them to bruise when it gets hit by something.
Okay.
Why not just encase the entire apple then?
That's cheaper. What are you going to encase it in? Like plastic?
Well,
they do
no,
have the
I'm just
plastic.
don't half-ass it.
Oh
Just
no,
do the
no,
whole
no!
thing.
You're only seeing half of it.
Oh, okay. So they
yeah.
do the whole apple.
they
then.
do the
Oh,
whole
okay.
apple.
Well, that's smart.
Yeah,
Yeah. Totes.
Foodies.
Yeah, because
Foodies.
dude, we shop at this Kroger by our house, and it's the worst Kroger. It's every time we go there, everything
We're not sponsored
is,
by Kroger.
We're not sponsored by Kroger.
Only
Freddy
Verizon.
Kroger.
Yeah.
Every Are you just full of dad jokes today?
No, and then my stoner thought mine is like, oh shit, Freddy Krueger should open up a Kroger store.
Freddy Kroger's, you can shop for your groceries in your sleep.
Yeah. That's exactly
You wake up with a full pantry.
Is it time for you to go?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. My wife sent me a text message. I was reading it on my Fitbit.
The story?
Jesus,
It was a long text
Only eats
message.
chicken fingers reads his text messages on a Fitbit.
Only. I refuse to read it on my
Sorry,
cell
Shane.
phone.
What
Yeah.
was
I
it?
can't
Kroger.
remember.
It was
Yeah,
Kroger.
I was basically
Shitty
saying,
Krogers.
yeah, it's a shitty Kroger. It was basically it.
that's it.
Well, I was supposed to say, like, the apples are always bruised, broken.
Because they don't have that.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause they don't
go
have
down
a
to your
fucking thing.
local Chinatown. Do they have a Chinatown?
They also don't
in
have
Nashville?
broccoli.
No, there's no
Does
Chinatown.
Nashville
in
have a...
Wait, they don't have broccoli? Why don't
Well,
they
they're
have
always
broccoli?
out of fucking broccoli.
Those bastards.
Broccoli's popular.
Broccoli's hot right
Why
now.
is broccoli popular in Nashville?
I don't
area?
know. It shouldn't be.
What
This is the Kroger we shop.
It's just the
What do
Kroger we
you
shop
guys live in Nashville?
at. Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Because you guys used to live in Franklin.
Yes.
Which is basically Henderson here.
Is Henderson nice now?
No,
Or
no.
has it always been nice?
Yeah, Henderson's like 9.
There's nice parts of Henderson.
Okay.
Is Henderson the same thing as Green
Are you
Valley?
talking about like distance wise?
Yes. No?
Is it though?
No, I think it's different.
I think Green Valley is like the Summerlin of Henderson.
Now it's
You guys are
like
going. You
like
guys are
a
skewing
man-
super local now. Super local to a city this podcast isn't even based out of.
But you guys want to
Everywhere in Nashville. Have you ever been to Summerlin and taken the 215 to
Well,
the 15?
hey.
traffic in Vegas.
Listen here, if you call Nashville Nash Vegas, then you're getting the real deal here.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of which, don't call Nashville Nash.
I always
Vegas.
call it Nash Vegas.
What? Oh,
I've never
is,
even
it,
heard
is that a
It's
bad
like a thing that
That's a
people do.
thing.
I've
People
only
do
heard
say
about the
that.
thing when I started working at
Fucking
Zappos.
tourists do.
Why? I don't understand.
Because
Can you
there
explain
is
that to me?
I guess the strip there is called Broadway Street, and it's just bar on top of bar on top of bar,
Okay.
and it has flashy lights. I don't know why is that.
No,
guys?
I don't.
Yeah, we
there's
don't have, like, a
no
Broadway street.
reason. It
We
has
have the strip.
nothing.
Yeah, I guess.
It has nothing to do
Oh,
with Las Vegas.
Broadway.
There's no comparative quality that Broadway has that Las Vegas has. I'm sorry.
Nash Vegas. I don't even know where that.
Campbell. It's not 24 hours.
And Vegas doesn't have it does have live music, but you don't walk down
not
the
as
strip
much
and
as-
there's
yeah,
no
not like Nashville
live.
live music.
Yeah,
No,
it's
it's
not
sad.
like
The funny thing about Nashville, wait, what? What did you say?
Garrett's just taking shots at people that we know on the podcast.
Oh, okay.
He said there's live music. I said, yeah, but it's Seth.
One check, one love.
Grocery store. Is this that video we watched?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember one of the ridiculous lyrics he said, but there were so many.
Well, I guess that this video. What was?
Girl, you wish you know.
For only,
It's Only
natural,
Natural.
the one where they were in the grocery store, you keep
so for
giving
those
me
who-
looks that I can't escape. Something,
Yeah, I don't
something.
know. Yeah,
We're watching it.
Wait,
Yeah,
you're
sure.
shaking me up. It's like an earthquake.
I'm sure I've seen it. Yeah.
For those who don't know what we're talking about Seth Trotter, the lead singer of The Hire, which was a band back in the day.
Oh, name drop. Ooh. Name drop.
It wasn't a name drop. It was
So,
just it was just referencing.
Speaking of
Explain
famous
this
people,
obscure reference.
where do you guys go in Nashville to hang out with like Justin Timberlake and the 3 6 Mafia? Are they just everywhere?
Did they live in Nashville?
The beginning of every one of their songs, they shout Tennessee.
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake is from
He's from Memphis.
Memphis.
Oh.
He's from Tennessee.
Yeah. Tennessee.
The Tennessee Kids.
And isn't 3-6 from Memphis as well?
I think so.
Oh shit!
See,
So
I'm
you got
sorry.
the-
I'm
you got
sorry. I'm
your
getting my
wrong city.
Tennessee cities confused.
It's like
We'll
Reno.
edit this out later. Or shame will.
Yeah,
You
shame
can
on
dub it in so it sounds like you did it right.
Yeah,
We're
can you dub
in
his voice?
Memphis.
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake from.
That is way too much work for me. No, not doing that.
You'll be fine. You'll sharpen up your editing.
Mikey will do it for you. Don't worry.
Unless I'm getting paid for it, then maybe. You gonna pay me?
Yeah, we need to modernize this somehow, Shane.
Yeah. Are you gonna start selling ads or something on here?
Oh, Verizon.
Once I get the
Kroger?
once I get the views up, once I get the views up to this podcast more than 20, then I'll start
You wanna talk about
monetizing.
monetizing it? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can do that somehow. I don't know.
Hit up Zappos. Maybe do they want to put an ad on here?
Probably not. I'm just being honest. Maybe you sell some shoes on here.
All right, we got about 10 more minutes.
Oh, wow.
So what do you guys want to talk about? Let's if there's anything pressing that you guys want to get into, dig your heels in.
We
Well,
can.
I think Justin Timberlake does live in Middle Tennessee somewhere.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. All right. We're coming back to my
Doesn't James
great
Marsden live in Tennessee too?
Yeah.
Cyclops lives in Tennessee,
All right,
in Nashville.
but instead
I
of
said that Johnny Depp does too.
I hate that.
Johnny
guy.
Depp has a house in every fucking
what
state.
happened to Johnny Depp, man?
don't know.
I used to really like him back in the day. Talk about just going on like a
Did you really?
Well,
Did you
dude,
really like Johnny Depp?
Well, think about this.
As an actor or
like older Johnny Depp stuff. Like like Edward Scissorhands.
He's a
and-
horrible
That's
actor.
well, older.
I mean, he's younger.
He's younger, but
Yeah,
it's older.
yeah.
Johnny
Older for
Depp-
me, younger for him.
Sorry.
Johnny Depp is a
Yeah,
horrible
like the
actor.
Tim Burton, like the older Tim Burton.
Yeah, I guess
He plays the same guy
Yeah, and I was just
in
trying to
every
think of-
single movie.
Yeah.
There's no range in him.
Well, think about this. Think about this for just a moment.
That's what's magical, though.
Yeah, he's
Johnny
the same
Depp-
guy in fucking the Butcher thing.
Johnny Depp is arguably the most famous, most richest celebrity in the world. Let's just can we just say he's
Johnny
one
Depp?
of the
Why don't you
Sure,
fact check?
you can make
One
an
of
argument
the-
for it easily. Yeah.
we
I
need
mean,
fact
one of
if
the.
there was if you could do 5
Well,
out of
we'll
the
go
he's
I
top
would
5.
bet he's in the top
See,
5.
I don't know. I would have agreed with you
Or at least
before he
was
did
at some
that
point.
Macy's Sauvage commercial.
It doesn't matter.
I
What
gotta
I'm, my
get outta
point,
here.
my point being
Gotta
is,
get away.
my point being is, he can't go anywhere without
never
someone
seen
saying.
that.
My point being is, he can't go anywhere without someone saying that's Johnny Depp. Let's go get an autograph, accost him, basically.
Yeah.
You know. So imagine living your life for however many years he's had to endure that. That's going to, number one, make you crazy.
Doesn't
I don't
he
care
live
who you are.
somewhere in Europe, so he doesn't have to deal with
Good,
all
get
of
him out of
that?
here.
He's got to still be famous in Europe, though.
Oh,
maybe
yeah,
not
he's
as
famous
worldwide,
everywhere.
but he's
He's
got to
worldwide.
be.
It's world. That's what I'm saying. He's a worldwide celebrity. There's not anywhere he can go aside from fucking Afghanistan. Even then, I'm pretty sure, there's nowhere he can go where he cannot be Johnny
be
Depp.
known. Yeah,
I think he's popular in Afghanistan.
Probably safe in Kabul.
I mean, even barring his personal issues, though, I just look at his choice of movies that he made over the last couple of years.
Oh, that's the only thing I'm basing. I don't know his personal life.
Him and Tim Burton need to separate. I want to put a restraint.
He's
on
the
both
same
of
person
them.
in every single movie.
That was my point of saying is because he's still a human being. He makes choices, and his choices would obviously be affected by the world that he lives in and has lived in for the last however many years. He's been Johnny Depp.
Yeah. Drugs too. I mean, but you being hounded constantly and doing drugs.
So
probably
why
doesn't
wouldn't
help
you
your
just be
mind.
like, I'll do another Tim Burton movie. I'm done. There's a certain point where, as an artist or as a creative person, you can only get so much success, and at a certain point, you're not inspired to be anything different.
See, I guess that's
No,
what
you can do
surprises me because I understand that you want to put in a new porch on your house, and so you're like, I'm going to go do this Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland movie because that pays the bills. But I guess what surprised me about him is you'd expect that then there'd be another movie or two where he's like,
This is like my
dope
passion
movie that's
project.
going to make
Yeah,
no
my
money
passion
at all.
project. Yeah.
I'm doing this on
Right.
just pure
He
'cause I
does.
like
He does
it.
make some funny cameo. He did a funny cameo in 21 Jump Street,
That was really
Yeah,
funny.
I've seen that movie, yeah.
the new one. Yeah, that one's pretty funny. But then, I hate him only because he is the same person in every single movie.
Yeah.
He's Jack Sparrow in every single movie.
Yeah, I feel
Well,
like that
it also seems like it's been since he started doing those pirate movies that
Probably
I guess maybe you know what
Disney fucked him
you know
up.
what I think it's less so that I see it in his characters. I used to be excited when I couldn't tell you last time I sat down to watch because last time I'm thinking of is back when it was David Letterman, back when I used to watch The Late Show, where you see like these stars be interviewed.
Yeah.
And I used to think that, okay, Johnny Depp's going to be on, he has some interesting things to say, he's kind of an interesting guy, and now it just seems like he's in this Captain Jack Sparrow character always.
Yeah.
Where he's trying to look as crazy as he can and talk as
And get away with it.
It's almost to me. He has started to be like. Did you guys see that movie with? Was it I'm Still Here? Was that what it's called? The Joaquin Phoenix when he was doing the thing about how where he like made like a parody of himself and everything like. But I think Johnny Depp that's actually happening to him. Like Joaquin Phoenix made that movie to like make a point, and he offended a lot of people and got kind of maybe too into it, but.
He made a point, and
He did.
the point was taken.
Point was taken. I think that character in that movie, if it is a character, I guess he's never fully said that was a parody or not, but that I think that's what actually happened to Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp has played a rock star and a pirate and all these things in so many different movies he thinks he is like a rock star pirate.
On that note,
I don't know what he was in Chocolat, but I know girls talk about it a lot. Like, was he a chocolatier?
That's a good movie. I watched that movie a long time ago. That's a good movie.
Was that the first time he played a chocolatier? Yeah. Okay, so he's played two.
Okay.
Which one, as a woman, which one's sexier? Him in Chocolat or him as Willy Wonka? Because I thought his performance as Willy Wonka was. I thought it was deeply erotic.
I was trying to.
I know you guys the pronunciation you guys are using.
I was trying to think.
Very authentic.
I was trying to think
Very
what was the
authentic.
second chocolatier he was. No, okay. Speaking of Rockstar,
It's like a rocketeer, but made out of
it's
chocolate.
like a shock jock, a chalk jock.
No, speaking of him being a rock star, or whatever. Did you hear? There's rumors that he's going to be part of Marilyn Manson's band.
I heard that. I also heard that.
Well,
I thought
he started this old rock group. Well, I say old. I mean, he enlisted old rock heroes.
Yeah.
He was in this band, and I believe they have an album out. Do they not?
Yeah,
I can't remember what the band's
so great,
called.
nobody knows about it.
But they played at some award show. And it was
God! Yeah,
him,
remember they look like vampires just going.
It was him, Alice Cooper.
It was like at the Grammys, or it was at some.
Yeah,
it was televised.
Yeah,
I remember this.
It was him, Alice Cooper, Slash. I think Slash was part of it too.
Keith Richards was part of it.
I don't know who else was part of it, but all these older rock
Is this
stars.
band only made of guitarists?
And that could
No, they're like a jam band, and they were just like smoking cigarettes and going like this. They had all the glasses. They all look like Slash.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of skeletons playing guitars, and then Johnny Depp.
Slash and the Slashes.
And so that's my point. That's my point. Saying it's like I kind of just feel bad for the dude because, you know, what if that was like his dream to start a band with all of his all these legendary rock stars, and he did it. He finally did it. He's like, wow, I got to play with all these, and then nobody likes it.
Yeah.
Not a single person is just like, what the fuck is this? And he's trying his best to play, and he's like, you know, he learned all these guitar parts, and he's just doing so good, and he's rocking his ass off. And then people are like, this is stupid. You're stupid.
See, he should have gone,
dream is to
and
play with
sticking
all
with
those
my dad
people.
theme for the night, he should have gone with a better like pun or some kind of gimmick. Like, I would have watched, like, if he became the lead singer of Johnny Depeche Mode.
All right, Shane, you need to go back through all this footage and do a pun counter for Garrett, because I think he's up at like 10.
What's the over-under?
I don't know. What do you think? I think he's at like 10.
10 at least.
10 at least.
I'm gonna say 13. Just
All right, any more puns, we're gonna hit the bell.
Okay.
The bell is happening.
And I don't know. I still don't feel bad for Johnny Depp because apparently he hits his wife.
True. Yeah.
And fuck people that hit their
Yeah.
wife.
Fuck that shit.
Wait. So just real quick, Mikey, I know you said we're wrapping up. Do you want to go on a quick tirade about John Lennon?
Fuck John Lennon.
Oh shit! Why?
Mikey hates
beats
John
his
Lennon.
No, don't say why.
Oh, actually, you know what? I heard something about that. I heard. Does he like?
He's a communist wife beater who
You're being
hates
a
his
can
son.
of worms.
I'm paraphrasing. Like
We're
these
not
things
gonna
are
talk about it.
these things are accurate
Edit
though.
it
Like
out.
I agree with Mikey.
Was it Yoko Ono that wrote a book or something that just basically something came out that he was abusive to?
I know John
to his
Lennon's
wife.
son comes out a lot, and we'll just say basically, like I saw a post online the other day where it was like a YouTube video of somebody just talking to him, and he's like, look, he's like, if when I hear anybody like kissing my dad's ass, talking about how great John Lennon is, I want to like punch that person in the face and be like, you have no idea what an asshole he is.
Yeah.
Was.
Was his son?
Yeah.
Yeah, his son.
Well,
His
that's a
illegitimate
weird
son.
That's a weird dichotomy, right? Though, like
Yeah.
because someone can create something that is bigger than themselves.
Yes.
You know, John Lennon and I dare I say Bill Cosby. You know, like
No, I agree.
Well, I
grew up
think
watching
we're in
Cosby.
when this time now where we're having to retroactively go back and look at things that we loved growing up and have to now say, now that I know what this person did, am I supposed to like divorce myself from my
sure.
love for that thing?
Right.
Like one of my favorite bands, Brand New, growing up. Now it turns out maybe Jess Lacey was a little bit of a creep. Am I supposed to not listen to Deja Entendu anymore? It's one of my favorite albums.
No, absolutely.
Like, how do I divorce myself from my love for that thing?
love for the art.
Well, that's
of
what
the
I'm saying.
person.
You know,
Because
like, am I supposed to not watch The Usual Suspects now
Right.
because it has Kevin Spacey? Like,
that's what I'm saying. Is I think you should be able to. I think you should be able to delineate between the two. I think. Because when you create something that is bigger than the person that created it.
I think that the good that Bill Cosby did was bigger than him.
Right.
You can separate the good things that he did from his
Pudding?
person.
Like fucking pudding.
like fucking pudding.
Like, exactly.
Wait,
You know,
yeah, you guys can't say
I love
fucking
Earl.
pudding. It's just like pudding because it just becomes a little weird.
Oh, okay.
See, and I would kind of disagree with what you guys have been saying because you said, like, am I supposed to not watch The Usual Suspects anymore? Or am I not supposed to enjoy this, like, you
Brand
know,
New,
Cosby
whatever.
or whatnot? And I kind of think that you aren't supposed to. Like, I think the same way, like in like this is probably a bad analogy, but like in college sports, after a program has done so many bad things, they give them the death penalty. I almost see, like, to me, Kevin Spacey movies have been put under a death penalty.
But so,
and
Garner,
I
but-
love The Usual Suspects. You know, it's one of
but
my
you don't
all-time
anymore.
favorite movies.
But you don't anymore. Because that's what you're saying.
No, what I'm saying is that I don't think I can watch it anymore. I can look back on it and say,
Right.
I remember watching that
you're
movie and I
making it-
remember
yeah.
enjoying it,
You
but I
circle
can't
back.
support it in any way now. And when I watch it
and I-
on Netflix, he gets a portion of the royalty from that, and I can't do that anymore.
You and I love
That's a very good
Yeah.
point.
You know, and
That's a
thing-
very good
and
point.
the thing, you know, Bill Cosby.
I think
So
you
maybe
guys are
Bill
both saying the
Cosby's
same
on
thing.
like
No, wait,
Spotify. I can't listen to his shit anymore.
Yeah.
I
No,
can't
no,
support
yeah.
him in any way.
And,
Also
no,
the
and,
same
and I
thing,
agree
yeah.
with you. I
Yeah.
can't watch The Usual Suspects now because
Right.
I think about these things. But
Right.
when I think about, so now we recently made, I don't know, but Garner and I like to make lists of our favorite things, our favorite books, our
Yeah.
favorite TV shows, our
Yeah.
favorite movies. Do I go back and so now do I get to strike Usual Suspects from my list of
That's a
favorite
personal
movies?
choice you have to make. I mean, no one can
But-
tell you have to do that.
But you're saying yes, like no, you shouldn't watch that movie anymore
Because
It should
now,
still be
you're
considered
saying
one of
it-
your favorites.
It becomes a weird
No.
thing because now we're getting to a serious a thing of judgment now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and because you guys are brothers, you guys can deal with that. But imagine if you said, "I watched The Usual Suspects" still, and someone that you don't know heard you say that. It's like, "Oh my God, you must be a terrible person because you support Kevin Spacey."
See, I don't think you should like with the when you listen mates before knowing who the people were in that movies. You like that movie not because of Kevin Spacey. You like the movie because it was overall story wise, or probably because of Kevin Spacey and stuff. I think it should still keep on your list, or it could be off your list. Now, yeah, it's a fine line.
No, see,
Only
I just
be-
can't do it. It's just
So if you had, I don't know what was on your, if you had Usual Suspects on there or any Kevin Spacey movie on it, you would cross that off and make a new list.
Garner,
think I would.
tomorrow, hypothetically. So let's
yeah.
really go for it.
yeah.
Turns out Neil Gaiman's a creep. Do you still like Sandman?
I don't know.
That's a tough one.
That's tough because that's literally my favorite comic of all time.
Yeah,
and,
Shane, have you read
and I
Sandman?
think I would
No,
say
not.
I gotta reserve that for when it happens and
Really good.
see how I feel about it. You know, I can't
Shane-
answer that hypothetically.
Shane should read Sandman because that's one of the best comic
Oh,
books ever.
it's the best comic.
I need to get into
It's
that.
it's like the number one on everybody's list that has any speed.
Yeah.
Any speed?
God, I hope
Like,
it's
they're like not the drug.
But are we holding humans accountable for too much?
I don't think so. I think when you do something terrible like that, because I mean, the impact is you say, I grew up watching this movie and
Goonies,
I loved
let's
it.
say Goonies,
or even
right?
they brand new or something like that. You know,
Yeah.
this record was instrumental to me. It really meant a lot to me when I was growing up as a kid. But you got to think about what that person has done and how that's affected these other people's lives or whatnot. And to me that can't overrule it at all. Like my personal, I have a really fond memory of this. But when you got to think about what that person did in the long run and how that impacted other people, it's got to quash my nostalgia.
I'll give you one. R. Kelly.
See, I was never an R. Kelly fan. I always thought R. Kelly was a creep.
But people
R.
are
Kelly's a
still
joke.
R. Kelly fans. He still sells out stadiums.
Well, and everyone's got to make their own choice about where you fall down on it. You know, you
There's
might
a lot
just
of
say,
people-
I
I
don't
mean,
support
there's
that
a lot of
person. I
people
won't
who
give them any
decide on
money, but
things.
also
Like,
want
you
to.
can't-
But
And what I'd say to agree with Garner a little bit, that maybe yes, just because of an example of somebody, a very prominent example right now, because it's been all over the news this week, of somebody that really had. I didn't know who Larry Nassar was until a few months ago, until this thing with the USA Gymnastics. And so somebody that hasn't written a pop record, somebody that's not in a movie, somebody that's done none of these things, you can just categorically say he's a creep, put him behind bars. I never want to see his face again.
Yeah.
And so maybe that is how we should react
The
to
same
everybody.
standard should
maybe,
kind of
maybe,
apply,
Maybe
you know?
it should apply across the board.
That's a good point.
just because he didn't do
Just
your
'cause-
favorite
just
thing, you know,
like,
and
right
it
now-
sucks that it is
You know,
one of your
it's like
favorite things.
As I've been the very first person to say that, you know what, I know some innocent people are going to go down. You've got to burn USA Gymnastics to the ground.
Yeah.
You almost
Everyone's
have
part
to.
of it.
I think the US the Olympic Committee needs to be burned to the ground.
Yeah.
Like, I know innocent people are going to lose their jobs.
Yeah, someone's secretary is gonna get fired,
Yes, if
you
I
know,
feel
or
that
assistant.
if I feel that way about that, I cannot reconcile with myself saying, "But I'm still going to watch Usual Suspects," or
you really can.
or like I want to watch that '70s show now. Like, even though I know, like,
here's-
Hyde
I'll
is a
take- I'll
total
take-
creep. Yeah.
I'll take it as this. I'm a huge Kanye fan. Obviously, you can see around the house, there's a bunch of fucking Kanye shit. But if that happened to Kanye and Kanye came out where he like beat his wife or sexually did something to somebody, I'd be taking those down.
You'd have to.
Yeah,
I mean, how
you'd
could
have
you
to.
not? I mean, it makes you
But I'm a
hypocrite
huge,
if you're not.
and that's
you know?
why I'm a huge Kanye fan, because he hasn't done that yet.
No, he hasn't.
because he
knock
does
on
his
wood.
most outrageous things in the public eye.
In the public eye. Yeah.
You
No,
know?
it's true. He's
And I
like,
respect
I saw
that.
it.
I
I saw
respect
it,
that.
yeah.
And whatever. I mean, being an asshole is
not
the
a thing.
thing. You can be an asshole all day and night long, as far as I'm concerned.
As long as you
Yeah,
don't
a crime.
hit anybody or hurt anybody's like physically.
Well, you can hurt their feelings.
You can hurt their feelings. If people become stronger on that.
Feelings are feelings.
No,
Yeah,
we were
whatever.
watching
Their
that.
feelings will regenerate
Hey.
faster the next time.
So we were watching last night the comedians in the cars with coffee thing.
Yeah.
The one, it was Chris Rock and Jerry Seinfeld.
So good.
And Chris Rock had said this thing. He's like, yeah, I had to go speak at this like anti-bullying thing, but then in the back of my head, because he was arguing the point that they're comedians and they can argue both sides of the story.
Yeah.
So, but he went to the anti-bullying thing and he was like, but like we need bullies in life, because who's gonna solve the cure for HIV or like for AIDS and stuff
He's
like that?
like a kid that was bullied.
A kid that was bullied.
that was
is gonna
bullied.
be solving that because they get pushed into that or like trained or like healed.
Yeah, you need to be turned into a diamond, and a diamond isn't created just.
Funny story. That's what I want to be when I die.
Oh, that's what I've heard this. Yeah, you want to be like compressed into a diamond, right?
But a diamond is created through tons of pressure and
Exactly. I won't be a huge. I
and
won't
eventually
be
a diamond is formed.
Yeah.
And so you need that to become an interesting human being.
Did you know that you can do that when you die? When you die, you can become a plant, right?
There's some.
You can become anything when you die.
Yeah, I mean, if you get burned into ashes, you can be turned into a drink. You can be turned into like, I want to become the next Red Bull can.
Taxidermy.
Taxidermy.
Why hasn't there been taxidermy humans?
Oh my god! You
pull
know
yourself,
what?
there has been.
There has to be. It has to be illegal.
Oh, there hasn't. Stalin.
No
was
way.
taxidermied?
Yeah, no, you can still see it in Red Square.
He's
yeah.
on somebody's mantle?
Right? It was
up.
made of wine.
Stalin's hanging on a wall somewhere?
Yeah, no, they preserved his body. I think
gotta
you can
look
still go
this up.
see it
What?
now. I think you can still go see Stalin, or at least you could for a long time.
No, you're thinking of Han Solo.
Carbon
And they break him out of
different
that.
person.
You never saw the next
method.
movie.
Same method.
It's the next movie he
Yeah,
melts.
no. I swear, at least for a long period of time, Stalin's body was.
That would be
preserved in
crazy
Red
if you
Square.
think every statue is really a taxidermy version of them, and then they just got like cement all
it's
over
like
them.
the Weeping Angels, but
The Weeping
even,
Ants,
like
but they're
zombies.
real.
Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, some of them are taxidermied. You got to guess which ones.
Are you sure it was Stalin or Lenin?
Oh, maybe it was Lennon. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm
maybe
seeing-
Wait, is that
Lennon.
him?
It was
That's
Lennon.
him right here.
Yeah.
It was
No, it looks fake. That
Moscow,
looks fake.
Russia. Moscow. Yeah,
not
Lenin's
him.
mausoleum.
Yeah, it was
Moscow,
Lennon.
Russia.
And they left him there for years. I mean, you could go in and see the Lennon.
Well, mind hack.
That's
Old
Russians,
mind
man.
hack.
They're different, man. They're a different breed.
10-point buck.
The what?
I don't know what that
That's
means.
a hunting term. 10-point buck.
All right, I think it's a good spot to stop.
Yeah.
Taxidermy. We need it nice and light.
Yeah,
We
nice
start
and
with-
light.
What did we start with? I forget what we start with.
I don't know what we started with.
Yeah. We went from why did we quit the Mikey and Go show to famous taxidermied communists. So I think that's a wide range
That
that
is
we
a
ran.
wide range of
We hit
things.
every point on the circle.
You know,
or
we went from stuffed soul to stuffed humans. You know?
Dang. Who else has been like taxidermy? I don't know. I'm just wondering now. But it is just creepy. Like,
Actually,
Don't fall down that rabbit
I
hole.
looked up. There's one.
I'll take psychos for
monk?
500, Alex.
A monk. Yeah, there was a monk.
But there is that story about the monk. I mean, I don't continue to drag this on, but apparently that story of the monk, he like went into deep meditation and like he
Oh, wait a
preserved
minute.
himself.
Wait a minute, you might actually.
Kind of, yeah.
That's crazy.
Talks about taxidermination. No. Determination.
No,
Determination.
You don't get a ring for that. You don't get a ring for that.
That's a way.
Okay, so yeah, you're right. Stalin's body was put on display from 1953 to 1961.
In 1961, you could go and see Stalin's body.
1953 to 61, that's what?
Are you sure it was taxidermy though? It's awfully cold in Russia.
8 years?
Like it might have just been the ice.
years?
Yeah, that's him right there.
Yeah.
Jesus
Wow.
Christ.
And Lennon too says it's like a Russian thing. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like mummified. Kinda.
Yeah, basically, it's like a
Opposite
mummy.
of
It's like going to see
mummified,
his mummy. Yeah. What a charming practice.
Well, guys, if you were hoping to see Stalin or Lenin in Russia
you're
anytime
still
soon,
listening.
guess what? I'm sorry. That is
Missed your opportunity.
you missed the boat. And you guys will have to just look on the pictures on the interwebs.
Thank you for having us, Shane.
Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, thank you.
guys.
Yeah,
this
thanks
is a
for
lot of
having us.
fun.
Thank you for
This was awesome.
This is going to be a
reviving-
lot of editing for me,
Nah,
but
just
you know
do
what?
the
I'm
whole
going to
thing.
love every minute of it.
Yeah.
Like a